Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage, and welcome to the Astral Sea, as our brand new stream overlay would lead you to believe. Got a lot planned for this session. Very excited for the things that may unfold in this party's first foray into the Astral Sea. But before we can get there, we need to roll the intro, get the summary, and start our session. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and get on with the session. So, as is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, I do not do the summary. I have the players do the summary. This week on summary is Gemma. So, Gemma, with that, feel free to take it away.
Yay! So, following the events at the tourney, the party returned to the Tatiana Tower. That's a lot of T's, look at that. With Prince Henry and Desa. It is explained that the three timelines have been in the one body of Henry since he was young, and is attributed to the collapse of the other timelines. Nalfian, taking from his own experiences of dealing with his own corrupted version of himself, believes he has a way to help, but needs the king's permission to proceed because, it might go badly. So the group move to the palace, and everything is explained to the king, who ultimately agrees. And so with the help of his echo, Nalfian pushes all three versions from Henry and is able to immediately identify and push the warmongering version through a tear in existence opened by Old Man Nauf. However, the remaining two, the one of arrogance and the one that's more soft-spoken, had merged together into one soul, which was naturally dominated by the arrogant one and re-entered the body. So once more they need to be ejected out, and Nalfian is able to find a thread from the aggressive version and pull at it, tearing the two apart, and allowing the soft-spoken one to re-enter the body, even though the whole ordeal has left him a little bit shattered mentally. So upon returning to the tower, the party also find that Aventahala is waiting for them. She, finding herself with some spare time, had decided to check on the party and offer any aid that she could. So it is then agreed that she will retrieve the final piece of the Ori the Wanderer, which is the device that will help us travel through the Astral Sea. She will also find out what she can to help us traverse in and out of the anti-magic pocket dimension that Emeril and Two of the Forsaken are in. Something that she would later come back to say that we should visit Sarkhan, the bottom feeder in the city of Pain, Yikwe. As she is leaving, Yorick and her talk about her ambitions, which are to take Asmodeus's place as the ruler of the Hells, and also end the blood war with the Abyss. Before retiring for the night, Yorick goes to Nalfian, wanting to know how you know you've done enough good to outweigh the bad that you have, or will do in Yorick's case, after his soul has been claimed from Aventahala. Nalfian says that, you write your own story, so you are the one that are able to make things better if you feel you need to be better. Nalfian also takes the time to ask what being a High Hunter means to Yorick, who answers that it's doing the right thing, no matter what. During that same night, while sleeping, the Green Lady reaches out to Nalfian in his dreams. She recognizes the good that he has done and presents him with a bracer that's decorated with golden tree, something that will grow with love and serve to protect him and the Forest House. The next morning, Lila and Twig talk about how things went at the ladies' tourney, with the ladies at the tourney. There we go. Twig asks for advice in getting help from the others in reclaiming Hazard's Hollow, the two drafting and sending out a letter with an offer of trade opportunities in return for aid. Yorick also goes to Lila for use of the spell Legend Lore to learn more about Aventahala. The information comes back in 3 murals. The first is of her creation, showing a woman taken from a forest and impaled. The second is her training a younger Yorick. And finally, there's one which starts off with Vetahala sitting upon a throne with the green devil to her side, but then fractures and shifts into her being speared by a fiery fiend, and then again to a non-fiendish woman in a grove near a fire. Vetahala returns as promised with the piece, and Yorick admits to her to using the spell, which leaves Vetahala more than unpleased, saying who she was before doesn't matter, but she will keep an eye out on the individual with the spear, which she suggests could be the daughter of Asmodeus, Glacier. And so, farewells are had, and the decision to bring Danny, Tiberius, and Belle are made, and Ephron arrives with his ship, the Valkyrie, and so the Ori is put together, and we head off, and Lila, with her connection to the stars, is able to gain a unique insight into the Ori, and is able to read the sigils that will help with navigation. And so the party head off to their first destination, which is near the Feywild in the Astral Sea, Sana, the City of Life. Ba 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 ba.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, I will say, before we jump immediately into the Astral Sea, I did want to ask, River, since you were not here last week, is there anything Eurydice would have wanted to do in Hearthcrest before she departed? Just because that's going to be your last time being there for a while. So I don't know if there's anything she wanted to do or anybody she wanted to talk to while she was there.
I think the only plans that she really had whilst there were very fluffy ones. It was just like going and reading books and going to some of the libraries and whatever.
Okay.
That was like pretty much it, I think.
Alrighty. Okay, very good. So yeah, you do spend your final few hours reading, collecting information, just trying to get a little bit of peace before you head straight into the lion's den, so to speak.
Yeah. Cool.
Hilarious. Okay. Alrighty. Sweet. So with that, we'll go ahead and move all of you into the Astral Sea. So, picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers have finally made it to the Astral Sea. After such an incredibly long time, they finally arrive. Now, there are a few laundry list of things that I want to get through here real quick, and I apologize if this stuff isn't exactly polished in VTT. When I transferred it from D&D Beyond to VTT, it got a little messed up. So if you go into the actors section and you go into Isles and you go to new companions, there are those 4 companions that I talked about. There's Belle, there's Blossom, there's Danny in Trouble, and there's Zevran. Each one of them has their own custom set of features that I'm just going to briefly go over real quick. And so whenever we go into a place, yeah, I'm sure if you've already looked at Danny in Trouble's Kayla, you might,
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
And I'll go over it in a second.
Yeah.
So with these 4 in particular, Belle will be controlled by Lila, or Felicity in combat, while I'll be role-playing her. Blossom will be controlled by Gemma or Twig in combat. Danny in Trouble controlled by Nalfian and Kayla, and then Zevran will go ahead and have be controlled by Ryan. And River, did not forget about you. It's just that throughout the journey, there will be a companion that will join the ship that you will control as well. That'll be relevant to Eurydice's character. It's just they only brought 4 people, so luckily I only had to make 4 companions. And
good.
Ephron will never be leaving the ship because he's the helmsman. He's kind of got to keep it under control. So, Belle, and this is the reason why I wanted to explain it, because some of this stuff is messed up. So Belle is a damage dealer. So she has a feature called Arcane Burst, which pretty much just hits one target within 120 feet for 4d10 plus 3 force damage. And then she also has a feature called Sculpted Explosion, where she makes this is recharge on a 4 through 6. So how some dragons will have like their breath attack recharge on a 4 through 6. After you use it, you roll a d6. If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, it recharges. But this would be her entire action if you decided to do that. 15-foot radius within 100 feet, DC 15 dex save. She can select 3 creatures to avoid the explosion within it. So if like Nalfi and Yorick and somebody else are in the explosion range, she can choose not to hit them. And they take 78 damage of either, let's see, what was it? Fire, lightning, cold, or necrotic. And if they fail, they're knocked prone. She also has spellcasting features, so there are a few spells that she can cast. She can cast Light, Mage Hand, Message, and Prestidigitation at will. The final thing with Belle is she has a feature called Sister's Bond. While within 10 feet of Lila, Belle has advantage on all saving throws.
Aww.
That's fucking cute. I love. Okay.
Now,
is she technically a warlock? I know, like, it doesn't, the class isn't the same, but, like, is that what she is?
she does use charisma as her spellcasting feature.
Okay.
So to keep things streamlined in combat, instead of giving you a full character sheet.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I just roleplay wise, I didn't know what the heck she was.
Reminiscent of a charisma-based spellcaster. So Lila wouldn't know if it was more warlocky or if it was more sorcery. Sorcery.
I've she's seen Yuri do both, so that's
Let's make things extra complicated.
Scary opinion. What do you think? Where is this coming from?
You'll have to watch her in combat to figure out.
Yep.
So then we have Blossom, which Jimmy you'll be controlling. Blossom's character sheet is the most complicated, just because she's been around the longest. It only makes sense. So for one, she has a multi-attack with her sword. She has a feature called Supreme Inspire, which recharges on a 6. And pretty much a creature within 60 feet of her that can hear her, even though it doesn't need to understand her, they receive +10 on a roll of their choice. And they just need to use that on that turn. So it is a stronger but shorter duration inspiration. Legendary actions aren't supposed to be there. She didn't have any of those. She also has Misty Escape, which is a warlock feature from her. That's what she technically was after everything. Pretty much anytime she takes damage, she can teleport 60 feet away. She does not have legendary actions. She does not have mythic actions. This is why I wanted to go through these. And then she has several spells that she can cast in spellcasting. I don't know why this feature is also in here, but it should be its own thing. She has a feature called Shield's Honor. Whenever an ally within 30 feet of Blossom is attacked, she can dash to them and block the attack. For every opportunity attack she takes on the way, she gains +2 to her AC till the start of her next turn. So let's just say that Nalfian's 30 feet away, Nalfian's getting hit. There are 3 creatures that would provoke opportunity attacks from Blossom to Nalfian. Blossom would get +2 or +6 to her AC on top of her flat AC to avoid those attacks. So putting herself in more danger increases her AC and bolsters her defense to potentially block the attack that would hit that person. Now, those attack of opportunities still swing, and so they could still hit. So she could take damage, but, you know, if by the end she has 24 AC, might not be a bad idea.
Could that be put in the sheet there, because it's not in there?
It is, yeah. Click on spellcasting. I don't know why it's in there.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
What's it called?
Shield's Honor. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. I think I can't even. I can, over the break, maybe I can fix it. This is the first time I'm going through them after having uploaded them. Then we have Zevran, who Ryan you'll be controlling. He is more protective and more like abjuration and control based. As a spellcaster, he has Repelling Burst, which within 30 feet hits one creature. Target is large or smaller, DC 15 dex save, or push 10 feet directly away from Zevran and become restrained until the start of his next turn. Then Zevran also has an ability called Force Barrier, where he can create a wall of translucent force within 90 feet of himself. The wall lasts for 1 minute or until Zevran uses the action again. The barrier can be vertical, horizontal plane, 30 feet, on a side, or it can be a 10-foot radius hemispherical dome with a floor. The wall provides a total cover. It has 17 AC, 30 hit points, and immunity to poison and psychic damage.
Nice.
Then he has Arcane Stasis, which is pretty much just a contested counterspell, where pretty much he can lock somebody's ability to cast a spell, and if they succeed a DC 15 saving throw of the spellcasting ability, they can still cast it, but if they fail. So it's like a weaker counterspell, I suppose.
Gotcha.
He has no legendary actions, but he does have an ability called Voices from the Past, where he can cast Contact Other Plane to contact a long dead spirit to communicate with them for some type of lore purpose, if he so chooses. Then we have Danny in Trouble. So Danny in Trouble, they have a they have a feature called Better Together. Provided Danny and Trouble are together, they have higher HP, higher AC, and deal more damage. They also have Uncanny Nimbleness. Provided Trouble and Danny can fit their heads through something, the rest of their body can fit too.
Okay.
Then they then they
Sorry,
have
it's funny because Trouble's like a person, right? But it's
Yeah.
just
Oh
a
my
cat. so
God.
it's just-
yeah.
That'd be terrifying to watch.
Then they also have peak physical form. Due to the amount of garbage that is consumed by these two, they have proficiency in all saving throws.
Oh my god.
Then they have a feature called Hey, Cut That Shit Out. During combat, if a creature attacks Nalfian, Danny and Trouble have advantage on attacks against that creature till the end of their next turn.
Okay.
Then they have their attacks. Oh wait, then they have a reaction ability called Fuck.
Oh, okay.
When
This is
Danny and
surprise.
Trouble are subject to a
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw and fail the save, they can use the reaction to take half damage due to their resilient nature.
Got it.
They just yell, fuck!
and it,
Cat always lands on their feet, baby.
yeah. Then we have their 3 attacks. They have Danny Dropkick, which is where Trouble throws Danny, and Danny goes into a dropkick. So it's a 10-foot reach, 1 target, 1d10 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. The target creature needs to make a DC 16 strength save or be knocked prone. Then they have Get Bent, which Danny and Trouble just take stuff out of their pockets and throw it at 3 different targets. It's +8 to hit and deals 1d4 plus 2 piercing damage, but it's 3 targets. And then they have their special ability, which recharges on a 5 or a 6, which is Double Trouble DDT.
Wow, you had fun doing that one.
I did, yeah. Where it's +10 to hit
that
one
one?
creature within 5 feet. It does 2d12 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. The target creature needs to make a DC 16 con saving throw or be knocked prone and stunned. And that's recharges on a 5 or a 6. Now, they can only do 2 attacks per turn, so they can only do 2 of these at a time. So they can do 2 Danny drop kicks, they can do 2 Get Bents, they can do 1 Danny drop kick and 1 Double Trouble DDT. Mix it up as you see fit. They also have a 30-foot climb speed. It's relevant. So there are your 4 companions. So anytime that you go into a new city, you go into a combat encounter where you're leaving the ship, you can take one of these companions with you. Each one having their own strengths and weaknesses as combatants. Of course, Danny in Trouble being more frontline aggressive, Zebrin being more control-based, Blossom having the ability to inspire and protect, and then Belle being purely damage-based output. So there you go.
Okay,
You have
back.
okay. Hello. So there are your 4 companions.
I loved it.
So there we go. Hopefully that all works out fine. So, with that, Lila, you now have taken control of the Ori of the Wanderer, guiding your steps to the best of your ability. You are navigating the party and Zevran throughout the and Ephron, sorry, throughout the Astral Sea. Now, as you're moving through, you can tell that in the area that you're currently in, it seems where you had come out and where you had entered into the Astral Sea, directly behind the ship, you can see there is this radiant light that is sort of shining, almost like a star, where it's so brightly shining, and you're not sure how close or how far away it is, but it's not moving, and it's getting smaller and smaller the more you get away from it. But you can see that to your back. And the ship is now directly headed straight towards the City of Life and the planar magic that the Feywild is connected to. And so for the time being, the ship will be steering straight. So it's up to you if any of you have anything you'd like to do as you're on the Astral Sea, on the ship, headed towards the City of Life. As of right now, there's no immediate danger and nothing immediately that needs to be taken care of.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just like first aid travel shit. Like, it's a lot of just looking out and, like, even if there's not really, you know, anything of note, just be like, yes. You know, like when you're on a boat, you just look at the waves, even though you know they're waves. Like,
Sure.
absolutely the vibe. Oh.
Ah, the food.
Some
Nom nom.
noms.
Sorry, Kayla was dropping pizza off.
Do you have any more for us?
That's fair.
That's
Yeah, I think Lila would just be in awe of everything. Probably just trying to like take it all in, jot things down that she finds interesting, or like things that she like has read about but never really like, you know, ever got to see at least this close. Even if it is just simple stuff like stardust and crap like that, I think she would just be fully consumed in like the space around everyone.
Oh, Yuri would definitely suggest to Lila that she should try like painting some of it, because if there was ever gonna be a good subject to try and paint with like amazing colors and like all that kind of stuff, this is the place.
Yeah, and then she would probably like be like, "That's a great idea," and go ahead and give it a try. Lila's probably just the sub painter that she has been, but we'll see how she does.
Okay, wonderful. Oh my god. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Sure.
If Yuri plays her little harp and practices by Lila while she paints, does she get an advantage because of the creative
Trying to give me
mind?
inspiration.
Mm-hmm. How about you make a performance check, Eurydice, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
I'm trying to be helpful. This seems like a helpful thing.
Yeah.
It's been
For
a
some reason,
hot
my
minute to roll the dice. Okay. Please let this be a charisma thing. It is.
It is.
It's a 16.
Okay, you know what, Eurydice? I'll say that given the songbook that Alistair had given to you, you find one that really matches the vibe of the Astral Sea, and you begin to pluck away, and honestly, Lila, you were skeptical at first, but the artistic vibe is there. So go ahead and make your performance check with advantage to paint your painting of the Astral Sea.
Fuck yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the effort.
Oh, you know, it's just,
I bet Lila thinks it looks really good.
just got a little too much purple in there.
What did you roll?
But purple looks really nice. I got an 8.
With advantage.
Yeah,
is
with advantage, got an 8.
Lila, it's abstract and impressionistic at the same time. It's a lot of blurry hues, which is accurate to what is there.
Right. It's just if you didn't know what it was, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. But to
I
you,
think I
Lila,
want a more artistic. Yeah. Just chef's kiss. She's gonna hang it on the boat.
Amazing. Everyone looks at this like, oh, the twig can roll that.
Oh.
Damn, how you gonna insult Twig like
Twig is a fucking expert. She's a professional artist. Don't even worry about it.
Picasso?
Better.
as you're Lila, as you're walking around, like as you're like with the piece of parchment, as you're sort of looking around for somewhere to hang it up, at the helm, Ephron he says, maybe Oh my god. Of course, force mod is gonna.
There you go.
It worked.
Oh, okay. It's still loading on my end, so I didn't think it was working. All right.
I just know this is what he's saying.
Oh, wait a minute. I also need to. Okay, there we go. Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, so I got really overwhelmed by the beauty of this place, so I just had to paint a picture of it, and I'm trying to find a good place to hang it up, just kind of like the first day, kind of like memento kind of thing. What do you think? And she shows it to him.
Oh, and he kind of narrows his eyes a little bit.
Yuri is somewhere in the background, like, bitch, you better say it's the best painting you ever did see.
It is one of the more unique takes I've seen of the Astral Sea, but I think that's appropriate
Yeah.
considering your character and the situation in life you've been thrust into. It is very nice. You can hang it up
Well,
near your
thank you.
cot.
Oh, I guess there would be good. Yeah, a more personal item. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, I went a more artistic route. Wasn't expecting to do that, but I like it. And she's gonna head down to hang it up in like the cot area
Yes,
where we'll be staying.
very good. And does you...
He's like, get that shit out of there.
It's just his home after all.
Yeah.
You tape it.
Yeah, with I don't know
Tape?
something.
Delilah's got tape. She's crafty.
Yeah, now she is.
Yeah. So you hang it up near your little cot as your first artistic representation of the Astral Sea. And you can see that Belle, sort of in her cot sitting across from yours, she kind of tilts her head over and kind of narrows her eyes. That's really good, Lila.
You think? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it wasn't what I had imagined in my head. But I think it's like giving more emotion than like, accuracy, which I think, is what I wanted.
Yeah. No, I emotion over accuracy is definitely what I see. Yeah. It's good though. I like it.
Nalfian said too much purple, but I think purple's like
Too much
pretty accurate. So
purple. Well, from what I've heard, apparently he has a predisposition towards purple, but we'll not get into that.
we'll have to ask him about it. His problems with purple problems.
Purple problems. Well, it's great. I do think that, because I love you, and so I'm always going to be honest with you. I think on the next one you should try for accuracy, but this is nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next time I'll try for accuracy.
Okay.
I think I'm just overwhelmed with how
It's a lot.
this
Yeah.
place. Yeah. It's just so like, studying a place for your entire life and dedicating everything to it, that could overwhelm a person,
Yeah, you should see the way Zevran looks at Ephron. It's very similar. It's weird, honestly.
Yeah, we need to get him to actually talk to him so there's not
maybe
all
like
this like fangirl energy
It's like
happening.
a wingman situation. I think that might be nice for him. Yeah.
Something. So
Yeah.
but I think Ephron needs a little bit of, he's an introvert. He needs some alone time real quick. So
Yeah, I can tell that he's already kind of annoyed that all of us are here, but it's not like we can go
he'll
anywhere.
get used to that. Yeah, exactly. But that's just who he is. He secretly loves us deep down. He just doesn't show anything and glares at us most of the time.
Man, who does that remind you of?
LOL. All right, well, let's go look at the scenery.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, not anymore, of course.
Right.
Okay, yeah, let's go look at the emotions in the air. Okay. So you and Belle, you head back up deck.
Joe,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I nearly said my other character. Can Yuri go and talk to Yorick at during the first day?
Yeah. During the first day, Also, I will say, and this. Okay, so Yorick, let me ask you this. Yorick, what are you doing on the first date? Before I say anything.
So I imagine that, like everyone else, Yorick had this like, wow, look at everything. Except for he had that vibe of like, you go to the Grand Canyon, you look at it for like 20 seconds, and you're like, okay, I've seen it. And so he was just sitting there like, what's a respectful amount of time before I walk away? 10 minutes? Okay. So then I think while they're traveling,
Okay.
you know, he was talking to people, like, you know, getting to know the crew a little bit. But now I think he's in his cot and he's reading his book, which he straight up just stole from Tatiana Tower because he didn't finish it.
He's never gonna get to finish his fucking book.
Okay.
Probably
So,
not.
Down sitting near his cot, you just saw Belle and Lila have their conversation and head back upstairs. And as they head back upstairs and you're like, finally some peace and quiet, you can see Eurydice come down the stairs and start walking towards you.
Son of a bitch. He's like rapidly like speed reading, trying to finish his page.
I can leave if this. I'm so sorry. I wasn't supposed to be like. Do you want me to leave? I'm sorry.
No. What's up? Shuts book.
Okay. She's giving him a look of. Okay. I'm sure you actually want me to leave, but I'm gonna keep talking. Okay. I just wanted your advice on something because you seemed like a good person to ask, and I hope that's okay. And I'm not taking up too much of your time that you could be spent reading. Whatever that is. So your title, like a High Hunter, you introduce yourself with that a fair amount?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I've been trying to think, because I know that, like, when we were at the tournament and stuff, everyone had these, like, fancy titles and all that people they were using. And I think I used mine, like, once, because I was a bit, like, I don't know. What do you think? Should I be keeping it more on the down low? Because I thought that might be a good idea because of the Dark One and all that. Or should I be using that title, like, more? You know, the Dawnbreaker title. What do you think?
I mean, probably depends on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking to, you know, the king, probably a good idea to be like, hey, maybe, you know, this is who I am, just a heads up so you kind of know. But if you're talking to, like, you know, Steve the merchant who's just, you know, trying to sell, like, apple fritters, you probably don't need to let Steve know. Like, that's probably too much of a flex.
Okay.
Steve just wants to make an honest living for his wife and kids, you know?
Gotcha. Steve might be a little bit intimidated or, like, a bit like, okay, good for you, I don't care.
Yeah. You met Steve
Yeah.
at Hearthcrest, right? Maybe that was just me.
I
That
think
was just me.
I mean, apple fritters are not my... They sound good.
Never had an
They're
apple
not-
fritter?
Not really. They never struck me as, like, a... I don't know, they just... Not my thing, I guess.
Nah, we'll fix that later. That's not what we're here to talk
Okay.
about right now.
But I just figured, especially with going to the city of, like, life and all this, and then the city, like, this just... The city of pain, of all places. Trying to decide when is a good time to absolutely keep my mouth shut about that, and when is a good time to be like, no, yes, this is who I am.
And you gotta read the room, right? Like, from what I hear, City of Pain is a, not nice place and it's very close to the hell, so maybe not the best place to bring that up. I don't know, they might be kind of touchy. Devils are pretty touchy people, or demons, or, you know, anyone that's related to the hells, a bit touchy. So
She gives him a look like, I am aware.
yeah, so maybe not there. And, you know, City of Life, I don't know, I mean, Efren's just here to restock. I mean, I guess we're just gonna kind of sightsee a little bit while we're here, help him out, I guess.
Yeah. I just feel like we never get to just sightsee. Something always happens.
Ah, well, you can't go in with that mindset or something will happen.
Okay, you got me there.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not much of an answer, but, you know, read the room. It's case by case.
Okay. Okay, I will do my best with that.
You good?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that stuff out. It's a big title, and I'm trying to figure out what it means. And I don't know. It can be hard to figure out who you're supposed to tell and who you're not when you're not totally sure what the title means in the first place.
I mean, like, what exactly have the past Dawn Breakers done? Like, what are they known for?
Just kind of fighting the Dark One, as far as I know.
Yeah, but I mean, there must be more to it than that, because otherwise, like, Nalfian's a Dawnbreaker, Twig's a Dawnbreaker, Danny and Trouble are Dawnbreakers. I mean, there's gotta be something more to it than that, right?
I think it's the passing down of that kind of light and power. I guess it's championing that light against the Dark One. I guess that's kind of the point of it.
Well, then maybe you're supposed to be, you know, maybe you bring it up in points where you feel like you need to inspire or you want to inspire.
Okay. That makes sense. That I can understand.
Because again, Steve doesn't need to be inspired. He's working hard. But like, the rest of us, you know, a little inspiration, a little bit of a good motivational speech, never hurt nobody.
Oh god, I need to write speeches?
No, you don't write speeches.
Hold
you
on,
just, you
hold
just
on,
deliver.
wait. I will... Well... How am I supposed to deliver the speech when I haven't written the speech?
No, you do it from your heart. I've never prepared anything in my life. Except for food.
Okay. Okay.
But that's different. That's a health thing, but...
Mm-hmm. I believe you.
Yeah, no, haven't you met someone who, like, they gave, like, a pre-written speech, and you can tell, like, their eyes keep glancing down at, like, their note cards or their paper, and, like, you'll lose something from that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just knowing that someone's being real to you in a moment that's very real, I don't know, I think that's what's cool, personally.
Okay. I have to be passionate and give speeches from the heart without writing them down first.
Yep.
Okay. That doesn't sound difficult at all.
Oh, good. I'm glad you don't think so. Most people would be terrified by that prospect.
Face palms immediately. Okay.
Not me, but some people might be.
Yeah. Sure. No, not me either. That's not.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Living up
So
to the
I'm
title
gonna-
already.
I'm gonna go up to the deck and definitely not write anything down.
Insight check.
and- Fucking fine, go for it. I'll do my deception check.
Ooh, that's pretty good, but you're really good at deceiving. Oh, I've got 24.
Oh, fuck, my deception's a +9, but that was still a 17.
Woo!
Yeah, no, she's 1,000% gonna go upstairs and write as much as she can.
Well,
That
that's
sounds
cool.
inspirational.
He's just like, right. So why don't you leave your bag of all your writing supplies down by your cot? You know, that way there's no temptation.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. She puts down the bag. I'll see you later then. Alright.
No. See you later. Good luck.
Bye. And she walks out. She gets to a point where she thinks Yorick can't see her. She tries to just telekinesis the book and the pen or pencil by her bed without Yorick seeing. Just slide it along the ground.
The secret is Yorick doesn't care that much, so I'm not even going to bother rolling perception.
Valid. Yuri cares enough that she's trying to be sneaky.
He's trying to
She
read
just-
his book.
Yeah, it's just like a slow whoop, of just a book and a pen across the ground, just grabs it, runs upstairs.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Okay. Alrighty. Also, just real quick question. Where would Twig be at during this time?
Yeah, I mean, she would be like on the, I guess, top deck. Is it still called top deck? I imagine. Just she wants to look at things. You know, I imagine part of it's just wanting to take it in, and part of it's also just like, okay, but what if something comes? So yeah, she's 90% just enjoying the view.
Okay. Alrighty. So standing on the top deck, just sort of looking out and seeing things. I would say Lila and Belle would be a backup here at this point, as well as the rest of anyone else that decided not to go down below deck. Where eventually what you see, Twig, and for anybody else who is on deck, you see what looks to be, strangely enough, like a school of fish. But these are large fish. They're probably about the size of like a small child, just sort of floating and swimming throughout this astral sea. You can see the school of fish sort of breaks apart at the hull of the ship and floats around it. And you can see the fish are these like almost all of them look like different shades and varieties of rainbow fish, where there are these scales of blue and purple and green and yellow, and they leave behind this trail of dust behind them that sparkles and eventually fades away as they split across the hull, and some of them flying over the ship and twisting around it, creating this trail of stardust that floats around the ship for a small while.
I will say, just as they're passing, Twig is going to use Speak with Animals, Speak to the Wood, and just basically call out to them, "Hello, you're so pretty."
Yeah, you can hear a chorus of voices respond to you as they say, "Thank you, as are you." And eventually they split and they fly away.
Twig's just giddy. Watching them as they like
Aww.
trail behind them.
I was gonna say, like, Lila would probably like try and reach out to touch some of the stardust, and Felicity's really curious if that does anything to her hands or adds anything to it, like because of the tattoos and stuff.
Yeah. So you can see as you reach your hand out, you can see Ephron for a moment kind of like lurches forward, but as your hand goes out, nothing bad happens to your hand, oddly enough. Instead, as you reach out, you can see those tattoos glow, this like bright white radiance. As you reach your hand out, as it mixes with the stardust, and you can feel this like icy freshness that washes over your hand, something that feels like how mint tastes. As it's just this cool, refreshing breeze that hits your hand. As you pull it back in, eventually the light does fade. And Ephron, he stops steering for a moment and walks over and says,
"That should not have happened. That is very strange."
What should have happened?
Well, you see, there is a difference between the astral sea and wild space. The astral sea is all of it, but there are parts of the astral sea that are considered wild space. In those areas, life, aside from very few creatures like the ones you see here and several others, it's inhospitable. Even reaching your hand out like that should have caused some amount of decay or damage. That's what the shield is for. That is very strange.
Interesting. Well, I'm sorry I reached out in the first place if that was what was supposed to happen, but when I had spoken to Corellian briefly a while ago, a similar matter showed up in the space surrounding me, and when I tried to basically brush it away, that's how I got these designs. So that's why I felt confident, I guess, reaching out just to see what would happen.
That's very interesting. If I may be honest with you, Lila, it seems as though you have a great skill set for being out in the Astral Sea and in wild space. I'm not sure what you have planned after all of this, but I think you could be very successful here in the Astral, should you choose that life.
She'll kind of nod and then look to the City of Life, which is slowly getting bigger as we're going near it, and then look to Belle and like knowing that they've probably talked a lot about like their connection to the Feywild and everything, and how Lila's desired that so much for most of her life, and then kind of like be like, maybe I've been striving after the wrong place. That's very interesting. I'm sure I'll have more questions for you about that later. And she'll kind of like awkwardly like twirl her hair as she like looks to Belle. She's kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah, of course. Ephron nods and he moves back to the helm. I will say, Twig, as you're sort of standing up on the deck, I will say, Yorick, with the noises of people talking and the fish hitting the hole would have made a little bit of a noise if you would have come up deck just to see a little bit of the fish.
Sure.
Okay. So Yorick, as you head up, you see the fish and you hear a little bit of the conversation between Ephron and Lila. You notice something, Yorick, something very strange, something that is quite alarming to you especially. You're not hungry.
Oh no.
Not at all.
What is this? And it's been like a long time since like York has eaten to where he's like, this is weird.
Yeah, you're probably on 4 or 5 hours right now.
That is strange. Hey, anyone else feel like not hungry right now?
You're not meant to feel hungry here.
Well, why?
Something about time not passing? I guess it just negates the whole thing. Right, Ephron?
God, I was about to take a drink of water. Oh no, I unfavored the voice. Okay.
That is correct. There is no time that passes in the Astral Sea. A creature can exist in the Astral Sea for many millennium and never waste away. In fact, in order for individuals to grow in age, they have to leave the Astral Sea. In my culture in particular, we had developed specific devices to help grow our young. And then when they were mature enough, they would be released from those containment areas. But yes, young Twig is right. There is no need to eat, drink, or sleep in the Astral Sea, as no time passes. We are in stasis, so to speak.
So do people only die by being killed here then? Like you can't just like die of like hunger or thirst or old age or anything?
Correct. But yet, war and fighting is very common in the Astral Sea. Too incredibly common.
So when people use resources and they need to regain like their energy, how does that work if there's no sleep?
Resting for a time.
Oh.
Catching your breath. Light activity. But it allows for the Astral Sea to be a pillar of industry. At least in the realm, in the time I came from. Many of the cities had incredible technological advancement because when there's no need to sleep, no need to eat or drink, you can spend your time focusing on other resources when food and water are no longer issues.
Is all this true for the city we are going to right now? Like, once we step foot inside the city, do we still have to... Could we still not eat, drink, or rest? Or is it only when we're out in the wilds like this?
The effects are lessened due to the nature of the rift connecting it to the Feywild. But provided you're not there for long, a day or two of your time, you still would not need to eat, drink, or sleep. You would be able to taste, of course, anything you may eat, but there is no feeling of hunger, and there is no feeling of thirst.
And, remind us, lots of fighting, lots of chaos out here, what are we expecting?
Well, for one, the one thing we cannot avoid is that of pirates, which is something I'm sure all of you are very familiar with, as it is very common on the material plane within the seas that you may traverse. The same issue is here. Those individuals who have been deemed unfit to live in any of the cities within the Astral, they form fleets and armadas, pirate legions, to plunder the vast resources that exist in this realm. That is something that we cannot avoid. The reason I wish to travel to Sarna is in another timeline. I had a friend who lived in Sarna, who may hopefully still exist in this timeline that can help us. A Fae by the name of Manas. They call him the Knower. There are these items that can be attuned to the ship, that can help us avoid the much bigger threats, the much more dangerous threats that exist in this area, for safer traversal. For one, we have mind flayers to worry about, or illithids. Their home is the Astral Sea. They fly around in these ships called nautiloids. And they sail throughout the Astral Sea looking for suitable vessels for their young. As any mind flayer that you see is just that, of some humanoid that was unlucky enough to be abducted by mind flayers. Then there are the Gith, whether they be the Githyanki or Githzerai, riding mighty dragons. They are a war-based culture, both halves of the society. They go across the Astral Sea looking for a worthwhile fight, something to allow them to die in a death of honor. And then finally, there is the most fearsome of all of these creatures, an entities known as astral dreadnoughts. Creatures larger than any city you've ever seen. They are monsters that wander throughout the astral, that consume everything in their path. There are 3 different items that we can get to help avoid each one of those 3 entities. And I'm hoping that Manas will be able to direct us to where they may be. Then after that, we can start to search for your Emeril. But it does us no good if, as we try to search for him, we're consumed by an astral dreadnought.
We were, also hoping we could make another stop before we begin our search.
Very well. Where to?
We were told that there is a device that could help us transport our magic into this dimension, this pocket dimension that Emerald is in, that currently has an anti-magic force or shield around it. Whatever this device is, it's in a place, the City of Pain.
You can see Ephraim, he kind of thinks for a moment and nods, but there's no look of recognition on his face for that name.
Okay.
Meaning that in his timeline, it must have been a different city, as that one
okay.
didn't exist within his realm.
Did Aventahala say the name? Or just says City of Pain?
Yquay.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Aquay?
Which, that's okay. Yquay.
Yquay?
Yquay.
Yquay?
Yquay.
Yquay. Okay.
Yquay.
Now Nalfian says that.
It's still no look of recognition. Ephron sort of nods and says,
The City of Pain. Do you know which plane it's connected to?
The Nine Hells?
Yeah.
The Abyss of the Nine Hells.
Very well. Easy enough with Lila's skill, we'll be able to easily navigate there. I just worry the dangers of the Nine Hells. But if you were given this information from a reputable source, then they must know the Astral Sea better than I do, at least this city in particular. If it is connected to the Nine Hells in the Abyss, and it's called the City of Pain, I just ask that we exercise caution. But knowing all of you, I doubt that would be an issue in the first place. Very well. To Sarna first, to discover where these 3 items are to protect us, and then we head to Yquay to hopefully find this device that will allow you to move into this anti-magic pocket dimension within the Astral Sea.
Alright. Sounds good.
Very good. Well.
okay, sorry. Hit my hand on the desk. So you can see Ephron nods and he returns back to his, the helm. But let me double check something here real quick.
Is Eurydice still writing?
Ye?
Okay.
She's getting angry.
Alright, great.
Throwing pieces
Now
of
Fia's
paper
gonna,
at
like,
them.
pop up behind, like, super quiet. It just, like, in her ear. What you working on?
Oh my god! Can you not?
I'm sorry, I just, naturally quiet.
You're a lot of things, Nalfi, but naturally quiet is not one of them.
Alright, fair enough. What are you working on?
Well, okay. I was trying to figure out how to be the Dawnbreaker, and then Yorick was like, you gotta inspire people, and the best way to do that is to do, like, big inspirational speeches from the heart. And he was like, you absolutely can't write them down. But how am I supposed to know what to say if I don't write it down?
So you're writing it
And
down.
I was thinking, yeah. And if I memorize it, then surely I won't have to be looking down the piece of paper, and it'll sound like I just made it up on the spot, and that'll be really impressive.
Uh-huh, okay, you wanna read me what you got so far?
No.
Oh, okay, I think you
It's
mean
a-
yes.
you-
And he,
no,
like,
and then
backs
you-
up and rubs his hands
No.
together. Entertain me. Inspire me. You're not starting off strong.
That's the issue, isn't it? I mean, what could I... Have I been inspirational before? I don't feel like I'm very good at speeches. That's not my brand of charismatic.
Alright, let's backtrack. You said you're trying to figure out how to be the Dawnbringer?
Technically Breaker, and then Dawnbringer's
Breaker.
lucky.
The weapon, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're trying to figure it out?
Well, it's all well and good having a title, but then you've got to figure out what to do with the title and what it means. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
knew you were a knight, but then you have to learn how to be a knight and how to use that title, and when's the good time to say you're a knight and when's not a good time to say that you're a knight. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I will say that I thought I knew what a knight was, and then we went to that tournament, and I was very wrong. And I had to redefine what that was for myself. So, I think York gave you some great advice. I think if you want to inspire people, absolutely. I mean, I agree. We talked about something similar about what it means to be whatever it is we want to be. But I will say, I mean, Dawnbreaker, Dawnbringer. You don't have to write it down. You just gotta do the things that you think are right and what you think this title should uphold. Thought being a knight was a lot of things, and apparently not everyone agrees with that. So I just do what I think makes sense. And if speeches aren't your style, fighting demons from the Nine Hells seems to be. Helping others when they're in need. Solving problems. Using lucky for good. That seems to be, on brand. Right?
Yeah, I think it is. As long as I'm spreading light, I guess, and doing things that are challenging the Dark One, then that seems to be on brand, as you said.
I have found that the more you don't think about it, the easier it is. Sometimes figuring out our titles and what we are is as simple as just doing it. It just kind of comes to you. But I want to hear your speech, so I mean, I don't know what you got. He's gonna like reach for the paper.
No, like, there's literally.
Snatches it from her hand because he is Dexy and quiet, and that's a 20 in dexterity, baby. Unless you want to contest.
I'll fucking try.
All right. Fucking say less.
You.
Say less. Where's my
All right.
d20?
Contested acrobatics checks.
Acrobatic check. Okay. +9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26.
Got a 14.
Snatches the paper away. All right. Let's see. And what does it say?
It's literally just the word the.
You fucking asshole. From SpongeBob. The really pretty. Wow.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. You
I told you there was nothing.
He's gonna very kindly hand you back the paper. I think York is right. Gotta inspire people. You gotta be whatever it is you think this should be. But I don't think writing it down is the way to do it. And correct me if I'm wrong, he said not to write it down.
Yeah.
Alright. See this? You're
Uh-huh.
thinking too hard. You're not supposed to think about it. You're supposed to just do it. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Alright. He's gonna rip the paper in half.
Hmm. Okay.
Now, let's acting exercise. I am. Oh wait, hold on. Hold that thought. Who else is on board right now? Like on the top deck.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Oh,
Everybody has.
perfect.
Yes, everyone.
Nelfin's gonna shout, "Everyone, I need you all to gather over here."
No.
Danny
Okay.
walks over. Yes, of course, Sir Knight Nalfian. What may I be at your disposal?
Alright, Danny, just have a seat.
That was good, Danny.
Hey, thank you, Yorick. I appreciate you.
Welcome
What's
to.
up? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Yuri looks mortified.
Eurydice is
Just
going.
Looks a lot of help me eyes.
Are we sure
Eurydice?
everything's okay?
Oh, Lila, everything is wonderful. Eurydice here, put the hand on her shoulder, is going to give us an inspirational speech as we approach the City of Life about what it means to be the Dawn Bringer. He looks at Eurydice for correction.
Gives him a look like other one.
Alright, great.
Breaker.
Breaker. What it means to be the Dawn Breaker. And going to inspire us on our journey into the City of Life, into the City of Pain, and finding Emerald. We all are going to be People who need inspiration. All right, you got your characters. Go. And nothing's gonna back up and join the crowd.
Wait, do we say anything, or do we
Danny,
just listen?
No, you just.
You said
Just
we be, but you said we be characters that need inspiration. I'm
Yes,
feeling pretty good
so-
right now.
Okay, well, pretend you don't.
Oh no!
My cabbages.
Okay. Okay. Right. People need. Do you guys need? You guys need inspiring, right?
Yes. Allegedly.
Yes. So allegedly, you need inspiring. I can do that. That I can.
Oh, great Dawnbreaker, how could we ever go to the city of pain? I heard there's pain. I don't want pain. Help.
Belle leans over to you, Lila, and says, "Well, now I know why you gotta see in acting."
I don't take acting.
Okay, no, Belle. that's
Reason.
not- No, you two. Okay. Yes, it's the city of pain, and yes, it's probably going to be bad. But we have faced plenty of very, very awful things. At least this time we know it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's something we can prepare
Oh, she's
for.
not done yet. Okay.
Nothing is going to put his whole ass hand around Danny's whole ass snout to keep. And he's gonna with his other hand gesture for Eurydice to keep going.
In a way, it's better that we know that we're going to somewhere bad. Because we know that we can try and bring good with us to that place.
Yes.
Looks like nothing, like, can I be done now?
And why is it important to bring good to bad places?
Because otherwise, nothing will ever change and people will just continue to suffer. And that isn't right, especially not for people like us who dedicate ourselves to bringing good and light and helping people.
But is it the rough part that we can't do any good there because we'll not be able to make it out?
We'll come to that bridge when we get to it.
Okay.
I forgot that part.
we
It's a big
can
detail.
get, because maybe we can't change things. Maybe we can when we're there, but that doesn't change our attitudes whilst we're there, and how we can maybe give other people hope whilst we're there.
Alright. Now if we will clap and let go of Danny's mouth.
Hey, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you, great Dawnbreaker. I feel much better. See, Belle, I'm not that bad.
That was better, but I no, you're great. Wait, no, sorry, that was Blossom. Yeah, no, Blossom would have been like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. She is really good. You're really good, Lila.
Thank you.
The second
What'd
one
you
was
get in
better.
Acting, Belle?
I didn't take acting. I took 2D art actually, and I got a really good grade in 2D
Well,
art.
I took painting, so I don't even know why you brought up acting.
You took painting?
I did. Didn't you see my picture?
Oh, I did.
And
It was
but
really
we were
good. It was a really good
Inspired,
painting.
you.
right? Everyone was inspired.
I have a bad feeling about this journey already. There's already some aggression happening.
no, this is how siblings talk to each other. You know, you have a brother, Sir Doofencockle.
Alright. We all agreed that we were dropping this name.
I never agreed to anything like that.
Me either.
Wait,
Same.
Sir Doofencockle?
No!
It's his name.
God.
It's
Yes,
his preferred name.
It is.
Twig,
It
look
is.
at me. Twig, look at me in my eyes right now.
Looking
Now
at you with a shit-eating grin where you wonder where she got it from.
You can see him, but his entire form melts. Alright, yeah.
She's
yeah,
your
that's-
daughter.
That's my fault. That right there
Mhm.
is my fault. That is an old nickname. He turns and looks at Efren, and we don't typically use it anymore.
No, we use it whenever we don't call him Nalfian. It's that he seems to actually prefer it. He pretends that he doesn't, but as the Dawnbreaker, who definitely always tells the truth, and never has any kind of malicious intent, Sir Doofencockle is his preferred name.
Oh, now you find confidence.
Rough.
I want it to be very clear that even though I'm the literal alien here, all of you are very strange.
Thank you.
Good.
I'm sorry, has Efren met Lucky yet?
Efren is going to turn around and go back to the helm and question his decision to bring all of you here.
Amazing.
He's just happy that he doesn't have to introduce any of you to his friends, because they're all dead.
No, Lila wants to be.
But I mean, are they all dead? I remember we had this whole talk before with the creator and shit. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it right now.
Oh yeah. His buddy could be alive.
Best friend. Besties. Okay. So, inspirational speech given. Effectiveness, questionable. But we move on after our after our first step. So with that, you all continue on your journey to the City of Life. Lila, you can see that on the Orrery the Wanderer, the pull towards the Feywild is getting stronger and stronger. And you can start to see this luminous green energy that swirls on the very far edge of the horizon that you can see as you know that you're very, very close to approaching the City of Life, maybe only a couple more hours in this misty field of purples and blues and reds swirling past you. As you are sailing there, however, you can see coming from the starboard side of the ship, the right side of the ship. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I believe you.
Sure. All right.
Yes. Because you leave port, so it's left.
Yeah. Okay, see, I remembered you saying that. That's what I used. Look at that. So you can see
Powered up.
coming from the starboard side, Twig, you can actually recognize something that you read about. As you can see this thin white line on the horizon to your right that is moving closer and closer and closer towards the ship. If you head on course the way that you're going right now, you'll probably connect with that white line that's moving towards you, or you could move towards your left and move away from the Feywild, but hopefully, or from the City of Life, but hopefully be able to outrun the thing that's coming towards you that you do know about, Twig. So, with that, you see the white line approaching, and oddly enough, Twig, you notice that Efren doesn't react at all to the white line. He just sort of looks over towards it and doesn't say anything about it, and there's not even a look of recognition on his eyes, which is very strange to you. But you know what this is. This is in the thing that I sent you. This is one of the folds that I was telling you about.
I'll still look back, I guess, worryingly that, like, Efren hasn't, like, you know, had any kind of recognition.
I don't think we should be going this way.
Why?
Is this...
Why
And so
not?
kind of looking at Efren.
There's the folds.
The folds.
It's gonna get us off course.
You can just see he has a look of confusion on his face. Like he, and you can tell with your passive insight that it's genuine. He just doesn't understand what you're saying right now.
Twig, what are the folds?
It was something that was I read about in the library. It's because the Astral Sea is always, you know, moving, I guess, churning like a sea. The places within it shift, and they shift through the folds, and that right there is a fold. And so I don't know what happens if you go into it. I didn't read anything about it, but
So your astral sea here is much more unstable than mine was in my timeline. Oh.
I suppose, but I think we should be very much not heading in that direction.
So heading in the opposite direction then?
I think that's best.
Very well. Lila, can you check to see what is that direction so we can have an idea what bearing we're heading towards?
Yes, it looks like.
And as you look at the orgy of the Wanderer, you can see that the direction that would head you opposite of the tear or the fold that's currently moving towards you seems to be a conjoined sphere, where the two planar gates that would lead into the elemental plane of frost and a portion of the Shadowfell have kind of combined a little bit. So there are elements of both that are present in that area. But in order to avoid it, you would need to head in that direction.
Okay, yeah, she'll relay that then.
Okay. Ephron will nod. And you can see that there's no recognition on his eyes of what city that might be, but he's going to trust Twig on this since she's the person who's done the reading here. And he will begin to turn the ship as it does tilt a little bit. But all of you see that as the ship tilts, it goes about 45 degrees tilted to turn around to make this very quick, sharp turn. As it does, the weirdest thing happens. All of you have this instinct to lean with it, but as soon as you do, you can tell there's nothing compelling you to lean, as something with the force field around the ship gives you this like tether of gravity no matter which way the ship is tilted or leaning. So the ship could be upside down and you would still be able to walk like normal, or it could be tilted at a 90-degree angle and you could still walk like normal. It's very disorienting initially, but the ship sort of tilts and moves, and all of you sort of lean initially but correct yourself, realizing you can just walk like normal, and eventually you straighten out, flying faster than what you were towards this area. So you move away, and Twig, as you look past the aft of the ship, you can see that fold getting closer and closer and closer, but as of right now, you are outrunning it. And you can see that it's just this thin white line that is just kind of sweeping across the Astral Sea. I would say the thing that you would notice, Twig, looking at this and having the knowledge you do, is that you can see that anything in front of the white line and anything that is behind the white line is different. Where it seems as though there actually is this literal fold that's happening and shifting that's happening. So you can sort of surmise that entering through one of the folds would put you somewhere else in the Astral Sea, but you have no idea where. It would just put you somewhere. Anywhere, which is very strange, which also means that anything could come out of this fold on the other side. So that's another thing to be mindful of. So you fly away. And as you do, you notice that there is a wind that begins to pick up. Where the area where you had been sailing before, that wild space, which Ephron had called it, it was like a moderate summer day, you know, like 65, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, where it's not necessarily too hot, but it's not too cold. It's very nice. As you continue to sail towards this planar rift of the sea, or of the plane of frost, there is a wind that begins to pick up, and you can see that the light smatterings of stardust are starting to clump together in these like frozen snowballs that eventually crash upon the shield and crack and break away. You can see there are these chunks of ice that you're flying past, but inside these chunks of ice, you can see there are these like swirling dark masses of energy that Ephron is kind of like swerving past, trying not to collide with because you have no idea what may be in there. Eventually, there is snow that begins to fall as well, just lightly placing itself on the shield and eventually dissolving away from the heat of the magic. And all of you do begin to feel much, much, much colder. And something very strange that happens is all of you begin to enter, getting further and further into this area, trying to outrun the fold. You all let me look at something here real quick. Was that not gonna? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say Twig and Nalthian. Something very strange begins to happen to the two of you. It's nothing immediately noticeable. It's just this small feeling where the two of you start to feel this sense of almost disassociating a bit. And every once in a while, this lack of interest in what's happening. It's very odd. It's not too noticeable as of right now, and provided you leave, you assume that it'll go back to normal, but this area that you're in seems to have a definite impact on a person's mentality, and the way they approach the world. So as all of you are sailing throughout this area, Ephron being very careful to slow down and make sure not to hit any of these rocks. Let's see. Lila and Twig, the two of you with the passive perceptions that you have, you can see there is a very large cluster of ice that is currently just sort of swirling 360 degrees over and over again, not moving forward, not moving back, left, right, up, down. It is just sort of stuck in stasis, swirling around. And you can see this large clump of ice, maybe 150 feet in diameter. You can see locked into it is a ship that is a fair bit larger than yours, that is completely frozen and covered in ice. But you can see with your 18 and 19 passive perception, Lila and Twig, you can see there are 3 individuals that are still on that ship. And you can see some of them sort of waving hands, drained. Just trying to make movement. You can see there is one person that tries to use a small bit of magic to cast a bit of flame, but the flame immediately kind of burns out as the magic within them is very weak in the current moment. And you can see the ship with these 3 people sitting on it, trying to catch attention. And at that same moment, you can see the fold has approached, and the white wall, the white beam on the horizon fades away as the fold has closed. And a choice is before you. You can either choose to investigate the ship on the ice with these individuals that seem to still be alive, or you can turn and return back on course to the City of Life. It is entirely up to you.
I mean, first off, would point out, I guess, the ship to everyone else if it doesn't seem like they've noticed.
We should help them, right?
Well, yeah, it looks like they're stuck. I think we should help them too.
Yeah, if they're stranded.
Ephron, do you recognize that ship?
I don't recognize the type of ship, but it could very well be different. I believe the armor that they wear is reminiscent of that of the Astral Elves.
Friendly?
Well, some of them. Some of them that are rejected by their societies end up turning to a life of pirating. I don't recognize anything about this vessel that would lead me to believe that it's a pirate vessel, but it's something to exercise caution with. This could very well be a trap.
Does it look like there's any other ships around us?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Land my perception. 15.
Okay, 15. Nalthian's scouting out, maybe even taking a small moment to climb up to this sort of pseudo crow's nest that you have, just to try and get a better vantage point without the sails blocking your view. You climb up and look around, and as far as you can tell, there are no ships in the immediate area, none that are close enough to get the drop on you, and none that you can see, period, on the horizon.
Alright. If everyone is okay with it, I think we should lend a hand, but a cautious one, just to be safe.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of them.
Would this ice work normally? Would we be able to use fire to try and burn through it?
Ephron kind of looks and thinks for a moment.
Considering the connection to the elemental plane of ice, my assumption would be that magical fire could burn it away, but normal fire then would not work.
Okay. Yorick, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying there's only 3 of them, so I say let's
Yeah.
grab them.
All right.
Okay.
Very well. I will. Oh.
I will fly the ship close, and all of you can go aboard and try and gather these 3. I will say that with that will take up the last 3 beds that we have available on here for resting. I mean, granted, all of you can rest in shifts, but I'm not sure how comfortable anyone here is with sharing a bed with 3 strange astral elves.
All right. Bring us in close.
Alrighty. So as the 5 of you prepare to go, which companion will you be taking with you on to the ship? Who's it gonna be? Yeah, I know. This is the hard part.
That's a good
Not
question.
Danny and Trump. I don't really think they're necessary here.
Well, Blossom has more of like the assist or help kind of features, but I feel like
Yeah.
both Zevran and Belle would also be interested in joining. So,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
Belle
'cause
might. I mean, not Belle. Blossom might be more useful.
Yeah, because I think Blossom, she's got the assist things, but a lot of it is also in terms of combat.
Mm.
So obviously it was still useful, but
Well, I guess Zevran has all the utility stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is that what we
Yeah.
heard?
I was gonna say, like, what kind of things does he have? I can't find it now.
Yeah, it's in actors and then Isles and the new companions. So
Oh, lol, because I was in the directory. Yeah, that checks.
Zevran's spells, he has comprehend languages, guidance, light, dancing lights, and he has guidance on there twice, but he can cast those at will. And then 2 times a day each, he can cast Dimension Door, Locate Object, Mage Armor, Stone Shape, Anti-Life Shell, and Wall of Force.
Yeah, I feel like
Those sound good.
Zevran might be the most useful.
Okay. So he will, just as any mage will, he's going to cast Mage Armor before he goes down, just in case anything happens.
No, Eurydice looks at him and goes, "Oh, wait, yeah, smart," and then she does it as well.
Zevran looks at you and he gives you the whatever the equivalent of the like mage bro nod is, where he's like, "Yeah, I got you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Zevran will follow up on the back line with Eurydice then. Let me edit his token just real quick, just that way if you guys... I just want to make sure that if you hover over his token that it displays his health. Attribute HP. Display when hovered by anyone. Update. Okay. Diggity dope. So you choose to bring Zevran Tariel with you.
Use your character.
A new hero joins the fight. So, with that, the 6 of you, the ship flies in, and there's a small ladder that comes down, and you can see now that you're not in wild space anymore, the gravity operates as normal. It is very cold here, but you can breathe the air. So this is on those days where it isn't like freezing outside. For Fahrenheit people when it's below 0, for Celsius people when it's really cold. I don't know. It's those days where you breathe in the air and you can feel that chill work through your lungs. It is that cold, where you can feel it in your bones. But there is a small, oh God, sorry. Oh, my chair keeps falling and it keeps throwing me off because every once in a while it just goes and it throws me off. So you can see Ephron, he walks over to the edge and he takes 2 discs. He sets one down on the deck of the ship and then he takes the other and he tosses it down the 15 feet to land on the bow of the other ship. And you can see arcane runes grow and expand from it, and he offers all of you to step on to teleport down to the bottom of the ship.
So cool.
Sweet.
How much of the other ship is covered in ice at the moment? Is it just like the bottom of it is like stuck, or is it like any of the top of it covered in ice at the moment?
There are like crystals of ice that are currently. Well, here. Why don't I just do this? Why don't I just move you to the map? How about I just do that?
Battle map, perhaps.
Ooh.
It's really so pretty. I love.
So you can see there are parts of the ship that are covered in these huge chunks of ice crystals. And you can see the 3 people there currently like leaning up against it. Some of them are even encased in the ice, but they're still kind of haphazardly throwing up as much magical flame as they can, as they sort of sit and just hope for somebody to save them. But like I said, the ship itself is encased in this like spinning boulder of ice that is about 150 to 200 feet in diameter. And I'll go ahead and move to the battle map screen here. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So, as all of you jump down and land right here, maybe, there we go. This is what you see. Oh, nice,
All right.
nice. All right, got to make sure the fits are right before we go into that. Lila has a fur hat, you know.
She's all cozy.
Yep. So as you all descend down, what are you doing? What's going on?
Bye, Yorick.
Said I'm leaving.
What did
Okay.
I do?
Sorry, I
You
was
like
trying to.
move.
When we're down here, can we get a better look just to make sure that there's nothing else down here with us?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. So I'll go ahead and, as you initially get there and you begin to look around, see what you recognize.
I'm blanking on math. 16 plus 8 is
24.
26. 24? No. Yeah, 24. Yeah. I know maths.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, oh goodness gracious. Oh yeah, okay. Very cool. 24. So as you're looking around, taking a moment, with a 24, Twig, you see one thing and hear something else. So 2 different things. We'll go one by one here. You can see that on these individuals, they are wearing robes of white trimmed with red and gold. And you can see on their chest, those of them that you can see from where you're at, you can see somewhat of a symbol, but right now it's currently covered in ice and snow, but you can begin to see it emblazoned on the chest of the uniforms that they wear. As of right now, you can't really recognize it at all, but you do see that there is some type of uniform, matching uniform that all 3 of these individuals are wearing. The other thing you hear, Twig, is you hear what sounds like breathing, but heavy, low, rumbling breathing. And you can hear it coming from below deck. So there is some type of creature that is below deck that hasn't noticed you're here yet, but may very well eventually, since you do know that sleep is not something that is necessary in the Astral Sea.
Okay, so she'll just kind of whisper that to people, and preemptively is just going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Just to hopefully let us go a bit more unnoticed.
Yeah. Once Twig does that, can Nelf just move up just a hair? Just so we can see. And wow, I can't move my character.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
paused.
I'm dumb. Like see through like the crystals, or like kind of peeking his head around to see what's happening, or if he can hear anybody say anything. Like whatever. Like I don't know if he can see this one that's here. what is that guy doing?
Right now, you could see, without a check, you could see that all three of them are just sort of sitting as still as they can. And all three of them are currently like covered in like chunks of ice in places that will need to be burned off with magical flame to get them out. But you can see they're just looking at you with this.
Oh, they know we're here.
Yeah, they can see you, but they are not saying anything. And every once in a while, one of the one that is right here, closest to you, you can see that they must be some type of mage as they're shooting out a bit of flame out of their hand, but their wrist is locked and part of their palm is, so they can't actually get that magical flame anywhere to start melting off ice.
Yeah. Twig, you told us about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We should probably go help them fast. Quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Lila will like tug on Yuri and like start to pull her forward and like whisper, "Can you sneak up there to just melt them as quietly as possible?"
Yeah. I can, yeah.
Push. Go.
Okay. Yuri's going. She's gonna go to the first one to go and melt the ice off.
Okay, you ready to see? Go ahead and make a stealth check. Plus 10 because of pass
Okay.
without trace.
Plus 10. Thank you so much because my stealth is shite. Okay.
Nalfian's gonna go up here with her just in case. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth check.
If you fail the stealth check because you came with me, boy.
I won't. Yeah, no, I rolled a 19.
So 29.
Plus...
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Oh,
you.
you rolled a 19.
I rolled a 19.
Oh, yeah, you don't even notice Nalfi and
mine
Eurydice.
was
Yeah.
22, I think.
Total?
Is that with the plus 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. 22, still good. 22 and a fucking 30 gajillion because Nalfian is ridiculous. The two of you are able to sneak around. Nalfian, you actually end up like walking along the side of the ship right here on the outside of it in order to get around.
Yeah.
And you can see
And he'll put his like finger to his mouth to like continue to make sure that guy stays quiet while Eurydice does her thing.
yeah, well, you can actually see that you're not sure how long they've been here because they don't need to eat, they don't need to drink.
Oh.
They could have been
yeah.
frozen here for so long, and you can see that his mouth is just covered in ice as he doesn't have the ability to speak.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Yuri's not gonna unfreeze his mouth first. As shitty as that is, because she's scared he's gonna panic and say something. She's gonna start using her, fuck. I have control flame, but I don't have produce flame. So if I was to control a non-magical flame, that wouldn't work. I'll have to use something like fireball.
Wait, you know what's
Oh my
funny?
God.
I have produced flame.
You have
LOL.
Can
if
you produce it?
flame, and then I
Yeah.
can help you, and then we can do it twice as fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
can we do like, yeah,
Aw, tag team.
we could double up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That would make the process go a lot faster, and then Nalfian, you could help the people get back to Yorick, Lila, and Zevran.
Yeah. Look at us.
Oh,
Look
do
at
I
us
need to use
teamwork.
Okay,
This is range. Do
So-
I need to be up there? That's probably better though.
so Twig, I do need you to make a stealth check just because you are moving on to the onto the deck.
Yeah, I'm worried. Oh wait, I haven't got proficiency in stealth. That's awkward. Okay, so that's a 17, and then plus the 10s, 27.
27. Okay, nothing to worry about. You're good. So with that, the two of you begin to melt away at the wrists, at the chest, at the legs, at the ankles. It takes you several minutes, but eventually, because the two of you are working together, half the amount of time than it normally would have, you're able to melt him away, and he is able to move. And Eurydice, you recognize that the symbol on the chest of this man. He's an older man. Even for an elf, you can see a bit of age, small wrinkles here and there, stark white hair that goes about down to the small of his back. And you recognize the symbol of the hidden flame on his chest. The same one that
Oh.
Lady Maisa would have worn.
Okay. Since she has message, she's gonna say, like, basically, like, mutter, like she's not even talking, and just instead have it go into his head. She's gonna say, we're gonna help you. I think you know that we can't talk now, but hi, we're gonna help you get out of here, and it's really great that you're hidden flame. Great to meet you. Hi.
And in return, you get a very muffled, because the person has to be able to speak it currently to ice over the mouth. The only thing that you hear back, which goes to show you don't know how long they've been here trapped, but you hear the only thing that he says is, "Beware the beast beneath the boards. Beware the beast beneath the boards." Over and over and over again until eventually the spell ends.
Okay. She nods, like she understands, and then gestures for Nalthian to get this one, like, back up to the others.
Okay. So Nalthian, you do that with your stealth check from before. This is all part of the same check where you're just going to have to make 3 stealth checks for each one of these people. So you are able to move him back. Yorick, Lila, Zevran, take him and send him back up to the ship. As we'll say, Blossom and Belle up there, they start taking care of him and trying to get the rest of the ice off, getting him comfortable. So he's gone. He's saved. The mage is safe. And then I need the 3 of you to make 3 more stealth checks as you move over to this.
I have a question, because I want to avoid making too many stealth checks, because my stealth is genuinely shite. If I was to bamf out my wings and just pick Twig up and then just go across like that, does that make it easier? Because I'm not walking.
I would say advantage. Yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
you're still trying to be quiet
fight.
performing the spells, but yeah, sure. So yeah, Twig, Eurydice kind of like
Just
picks you up, and the 2 of you just start floating above the wood.
Would you like a stealth check from me still?
Yeah, yours would be a flat stealth check. Theirs would be with advantage.
That
So-
is good. That was a fucking 2.
Well, I still have passed
So-
that trace, right?
Do I?
Yep.
Yeah. Do I still need a? Oh, actually, hold on. No, we're good. I thought produce flame might have been concentration for a hot second. It is absolutely not.
Oh.
But yeah. So do you still need a stealth roll from me if I'm being carried by Yuri?
Yeah, because when you get set down and you have to cast the spell, you also have to be quiet while you're doing that. Like
I don't
melting
know.
the
That's
right
not
part
funny.
so the ice doesn't crack and shatter.
I got
So
22, but I'm really glad I did that, because my first roll was a 2, so that would have been like a 14 total.
ooh,
I don't even need your advantage.
okay, 22,
36.
Oh, fuck
36.
you then.
and natural 20, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yorick, go ahead and make a perception check since you're looking out for that creature and whatever noise it may make. Just to see if you hear any change in movement. Okay. Are you muted?
Ryan? Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe I
Sorry.
step away first.
Sorry, I
Oh.
forgot I was muted.
No, you're
24.
24. Okay. As you're listening, you can hear some shifting and movement. The creature, whatever it is, it seems to be that in this large cluster of ice, there are tunnels throughout the ice clusters. And you can hear it moving away from the ship momentarily and then crawling back and then moving away and then crawling back. And you can tell with a 24 that whatever it is very large and it has many, many legs and it is very long. But it seems as though it hasn't noticed the rest of your party members above deck.
Okay.
And if that changes at all, I will be sure to let you know.
Copy.
But with that, Nalthian, you are able to grab another one of these astral elves. This one, a woman, long, sort of like golden hair that almost shimmers a bit like the stardust that you've seen, along with these tattoos that are very reminiscent of the same ones that Lila has. And you can see that as you grab her and begin to move her, there is a look of thankful pleading on her eyes as you move her back. Yorick and Lila, you take her and send her up to the ship. Okie dokie.
Okay. Let's grab Twig again. Woof, woof, woof. Fly over here. And hope we don't fucking wake up whatever sound makes. That's scary.
Okay, go ahead and make
Would you
a
believe me?
another set of stealth checks. Twig and Eurydice with advantage. Nalfian flat.
Would you believe me?
Oh,
I rolled
fuck
a
yeah.
nat 20 because that's what happened.
Now's the
I'm
time.
invisible.
Get him out now.
I got a 31.
Nice, Nalfian.
31 as well.
All right. Okay. Very good. A round of successful stealth checks. As you approach this individual, you can see another astral elf, but something very strange about this one in particular, as you begin to melt away the material on the left and right arm, you can see their arms are not flesh and bone. Instead, they are metal enhanced with magical runes. They have no weapons on them, so it seems as though whatever these metal arms are seem to be their weapon of choice. So you melt away the ice, and Nalfian, you move him back as he's taken. Oh, Nalfian doesn't disappear. As you now have rescued all three of them, and because you have wings, there's no need to traverse. You just fly over the wood. No stealth check necessary to get back aboard the ship. So other than that, doesn't look like there are any supplies here that you need. And if there's nothing else, the six of you can return back to the Valkyrie and check in on your new guests.
Yes.
Yeet.
Success.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
So
man.
with that, you all exit. You move back aboard the ship. You can see Ephron as you board. He sort of picks up the disc that's on the ground. The runes disappear, and he hangs it over the edge, and you can see like magnets. The plate that was down there flies up and reconnects as he puts it back into a small pouch he has at his side. And you can see Belle and Blossom have taken the time to take the astral elves down to the bottom deck and set them up in their cots, the last three cots that were available in here, as they are trying their best to give them, warm tea, something that obviously are not going to gain any benefit from it, but something that will make them feel warmer and help break away the cold. As you can see that it's definitely going to be a little bit before they're ready to talk, just because of the conditions they were in, and you do not know how long they were there for. But as you begin to float up and away, Yorick, having been keeping an eye out just to make sure, as you get maybe 20, 30 feet away, you can see there is a creature that begins to emerge from the broken hull of the ship, climbing on top of the ice. You can see a creature that's about 30 feet long, that has about 10 legs, 5 on each side, and this long salamander-like body that is just covered in ice and crystals. And you can see this frost and snow just pours out of its mouth like a frozen waterfall as it looks around and begins crawling on top of the ice asteroid and eventually climbs back into one of the holes. And luckily, you did not have to fight that thing, so very good job. So, with that, aboard your ship, you now head to the City of Life. You head to Sarna, with hopefully no other obstacles. And you want to see it? Okay, all right, give me a second.
I'm in the same camp.
You wanna see the frost salamander?
I want it to
Yeah.
be pretty because it sounds like it's
It
gonna be
sounds
pretty, but I'm
adorable.
pretty sure it's gonna be more horrific. But we'll see.
It sounds cute.
Until it
It
was
does sound cute.
Anything called a salamander is immediately just adorable.
a little baby.
Wait, why is this
Could
not?
I own one? Ride it into battle.
Oh, we could.
It
Probably
reminds me of the
run
ones
for
from
30
Frozen
foot.
2.
Wait,
No,
what?
it's fine.
You posted somewhere?
So I'm about to. For some reason, my Foundry changes all the time because of how many modules I have. So it makes it harder for me to like be able to reliably do things, because whenever I do, it's like, yes, this button that you used to use all the time to show art doesn't exist anymore. There you go. Put in the chat, maybe. Oh, come on.
Which chat is it going into?
I was maybe There you go. All right, I put it in the
There
chat.
it is.
Oh wow, that's not
Yeah,
cute.
it's
Oh.
horrific. I
And
knew
then-
it was gonna be on the horrific side, but I want to believe it's cute.
I'll also put it in Isles private.
Why is it like that?
He's so like he's a unit. He's built.
He's strong.
Hell.
Got big strength.
Jesus.
Got big strength.
Just needs a belly rub.
Well,
We'll call it Cooper.
all right.
Oh,
Yes.
Cooper the
please.
Frost
Please,
Salamander.
Yeah.
I love him.
We need
already.
for pets, obviously.
We should
Belly
turn
rub.
around, Efren.
With my sword.
So, with that, back to the RP screen here. You all, aboard the ship, successfully passed your first roadblock in the Astral Sea. Eventually, after a few more hours of traveling, you can see the temperature begin to stabilize as you approach the city of Sarna, the city of life. And as you approach, you can already feel the change in atmosphere and temperature, making your way out of the wild space. You can hear the sound of animals, natural life, in this beautiful floating city. At the edge of your vision, you can see people traversing mile-long bridges that connect these separated islands. You can see people look over, waving at you as you approach a very kind and friendly place. Even as you approach, there are a few people that throw bundles of flowers and petals down towards the ship that land on the deck. And eventually you begin to make your way towards one of the many docks within the City of Life, as you ready to depart into the city to hopefully find the knower, Manas. So at that note, that is where we're going to actually take our break very briefly. And we will be back here in just a little bit. Thanks for watching so far, and we'll be back very shortly. We are back. Hello. Ready to die. Man, chair has already fallen. I just sit in it for several minutes. And then it was like, you know what? Now, as soon as you're about to get into it, that's the time that I need to fall. I hate this chair so much. So we're going to go ahead and dive back in to our session here. Picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers finally making their way into the Astral Sea had their first roadblock, where they needed to make a choice between sailing directly towards the City of Life and potentially incurring the wrath of whatever this fold of the Astral Sea would cause to them, or heading towards an area where there was connected magic between the Shadowfell and the elemental plane of frost. They decided to head in the direction of the in the elemental plane of frost in the Shadowfell. Upon arriving, they found a crew of... What? Anyway, they found a ship that had been abandoned in there for who knows how long. And okay. And they found 3 people aboard that ship, 3 members bearing the symbol of the hidden flame. They rescued the 3 of them, luckily without incurring the wrath of the frost salamander that had called its home that of the ruins of the ship. So, the party rescued those 3 and incurred no wrath from the frost salamander as they saved them, and they headed away from the ship back towards the city of Sarna, the city of life. So, like I said, as all of you approach, you can see there is so much life and beauty in this city. So much that it's almost overwhelming. The smell of lavender and fresh grass just surrounds your sensories. You can see people throwing down petals and flowers down in the ship that fall and collide with the deck, welcoming you to the city of life. As you begin to fly towards the docking area, you can see Ephron does give all of you a warning.
I want all of you to know immediately, we will not be in Sarna for long. The city has a way of lulling you into a false sense of security. Remember, the city is on the outside of the Feywild. The Feywild is beautiful, there is no doubt about that, but also it is deceitful in its nature. There's one thing that I want all of you to keep in mind, as we're here. While the city is very friendly, you must not give anyone your name. Use a moniker or a nickname, anything. But using your name will only end poorly for you. So I suppose, Nalfian, that now may be the time.
No. Alright. Can we have a family meeting?
Yes, I wanted to do that too, but yes, family meeting about names. Luckily, you already have yours now, Fian.
Well, if this is a family conversation, I'll let all of you get to it.
As Ephron's gonna walk away.
Bye, Ephron.
I'm just saying, as a knight of House Forrester, I think it would be best, and Twig, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I might be right in this one. A more suitable name to give would be probably a good idea.
Unfortunately, I don't think I could remember that many new names, so we're gonna have to keep one of them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right, let's come on. All right. Listen, I love picking on Nalfian as much as the next person. But listen, Nalfian won the night tourney. I think that in this one time, we can spare him from the Doofencockle.
Thank you. Blossom. Twig, you were saying?
I was gonna say that as Lady Forrester, I believe that Sir Doofencockle is a very fitting and suitable name.
Oh, well, if the lady of the house said it, I tried, but I can't override her. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Well, wait a second. What was your idea? Pitch it.
I didn't even have one.
Oh.
He just puts his head in his hands.
All right. How about Nalfian? What's Twig's nickname?
What is Twig's nickname? He kind of pulls his head back out. Too bad
You
Kayla
can
isn't
literally give
clever
her
enough.
any as revenge at this point.
Alright, game pause. Friends, I need a name.
Well, I mean,
And you gave her one, but I can't remember what it was. Oh.
Dick.
I mean, can Twig still use the name Twig? Because it's not.
Sprout.
No, that's my name!
It might
it,
be
though?
something to do with like I don't know
Branch.
if it's a magical thing of your actual name.
Root.
Mm.
Brute.
Leaf.
Call her Brute. That's not her fucking name.
I am Root.
I am Root.
Especially because, like, you know, a root, especially in Australia, is like, you know, to do the dirty tangos. So.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
that's
I'm
true.
not gonna call her that.
I forgot about that.
No dear.
I'm not clever enough.
Branch.
Kayla is it? Branch?
I think Branch is funny.
Okay.
Call
Resume.
her Stump.
Oh wait, no, I like that better.
Stump.
Alright, Stump it is.
All right. Well, nice to meet you, Stump.
Yeah, everybody
Oh, like, there's a
overemphasize the
massive vibe
P.
just as you're saying that.
Stump.
Stump.
Well, Belle's nickname growing up was Ting Ting, so
You can see Belle is aghast right now.
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
sound a bell makes. Ting Ting.
Oh, that's,
that's
so
cute.
funny!
That's so perfect.
Hey,
It
I have to
suits you.
deal with Doofencockle, you can deal with Ting Ting.
Uvencockle's a lot worse.
You are supposed to be on my
It's
side.
not.
Do you want me to know if it's bad or not?
It's not the name that's bad, the betrayal. After everything we've been through, Lila, you betray me like this?
But
Get
these
used
are
to
my
it.
new friends. They're gonna like get to know all everything, you know?
At their own pace. I wasn't ready for that. That's a big step.
This is
Well-
a good pace. I like this pace.
One big step today.
Alright, Ting Ting and Stump.
Wait, does that mean
It's
I'm
the
going
P that
into the
gets
city
me.
of life with all of you?
Yeah. Why
Oh.
not? But you
can
gotta
see-
be Ting Ting.
Okay, I'll be Ting Ting. Says very deeply under her breath. And you can see Danny in trouble. They kind of look at each other sadly, like they really wanted to go to the city of life.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Not this time.
Nah, it's okay. Well, I'm sure we'll go somewhere else. I'd love to see the city of pain. That sounds like a really fun vacation.
Hey, what did you say? You said my speech was very inspirational. The City of Pain is going to be a good time.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
He lied.
That's
you can see
I
Nalfian
love
give it, like,
nipple piercings
Danny
as
a
much as
look.
the next person, but I don't know how excited I am.
Alright,
Sorry,
what's
Nalfian.
Lila's nickname?
Lila's. Belle, did she have any fun names growing up? Did she betray you? Come on, Joe.
What did you think of?
Let's just call her Star Girl.
Ooh, I like Stargirl.
I love that book.
Oh my god.
I was thinking we could do that, and we could call Yorick Hunter, just because he's already a high hunter. So we just shorten that.
Oh,
Oh,
Hunter
so
would
no.
work.
I was gonna use one of my old aliases.
Oh, go
Yeah.
for that then. What is it?
Joseph Conkle.
Man, what a
That's,
fucking lame
that's an alias
name.
of yours?
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Alright, Joseph.
I veto. Nope.
Oh, man. Why not?
Okay, so we've got Ting Ting, Stump, Sir Cockle, Hunter, Stargirl. All right, you're to see what's yours.
I've never had to have an alias. But wait, we did have an alias. I think I just.
Yeah, it was like Violet or something.
I don't remember.
Wasn't it Iris? Was it Iris?
Oh yeah. There's a flower.
I could just shorten mine to Dawn because Hi, Hunter, Dawnbreaker, Dawn. That
Why
works.
does everyone else get to have? Oh, all right.
Okay, mine's
Hey,
Ting.
I left-
Mine is Ting Ting. All right.
I left it open for Belle to out me, but if she's not gonna take the opportunity, then
No,
I'm...
because I trust you. I trust you, and I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, now I feel like shit.
Good.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to speak about was I need to ask, Lila, do you have Zone of Truth or anything like that?
Let's see, what did I have prepared today? I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I took Zone of Truth again because I had it
Okay.
prepared forever and never used it, but I'm double checking.
Or it feels like it'd be one that you'd get from your subclass.
You would think,
Okay.
but no. There's
I
a
wouldn't
lot
like
of
these,
funny
yeah.
choices that they made on like what she has prepared, but that's always forever, but that's fine. I don't have Zone of Truth prepared today, sorry.
Okay. I might be able to use suggestion instead. Because what I want to do is before we tell these Hidden Flame people anything, we basically interrogate them first. Because the last time I randomly trusted Hidden Flame people, I got tortured. So I feel like maybe we discuss with them
that's fair.
first.
Well, they're still recovering. If by the time we're able to rest, I could probably just prepare Zone of Truth for tomorrow.
Yeah, that would work. I'll
I can
just,
just plan on that.
yeah, and then we can be sure.
Yeah, I think that is the safest option.
Great, okay.
They are still resting, right, Joe? Like they wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
talk
they're
yet.
gonna be there for a
okay.
while too. It is a lot of rest to recover from what they've been through.
All right.
Great.
I think we're all good to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Lead the way, Hunter.
Has everyone written
I've never
down
been
the
here.
names? Have you all got notes on your hands?
Yes.
I don't write anything down, Eurydice.
Nalfian laughs very hard at that. And
High
high
five.
fives.
Yeah.
I'm slow.
Ah. I like you, Hunter.
Oh, thanks, Doofencockle.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you opened yourself up to that one.
I know what I did. And they walk off.
I'll just call you Buddy.
I'll take it.
Ephraim,
Joe.
Ephraim, as all of you are getting ready to dock, as all of you are getting ready to walk off, he says,
Do any of you know where you're going?
No.
No.
Well, you're gonna tell us, aren't you?
I thought you were coming.
I will be coming with you
Because-
for this.
Oh wait, here's
Yeah.
Well, I think it might be a little strange if you try to explain to Manas that you know a friend of his from an alternate timeline if he never met me before.
valid.
Correct. Lead the way.
Of course.
Wait, Ephraim, do you have another name that we should be using for you?
Well, Traveler is fine.
Okay.
I was gonna go with Ziggy Stardust, but that'll be fine.
Did I have that one?
No.
You look like a Ziggy.
Let's go.
I feel like I just can't make you happy today.
You have made me happy in more ways than you know.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You're just like one eyebrow.
Thus.
that is a little sus, not gonna lie. Okay.
You guys are shipping them so hard. They are just bros.
You guys are doing all the work, okay?
Hey,
Yeah. We're just simple observers.
Yeah.
Are you-
Okay, I will
are
admit
you
the music that I played the other day was a little
Yeah, exactly.
kind of set this up. Mm. Okay. So, man, we will go ahead and continue on. Okay. Oh, where's the thing at? There it is. So, you all dock into the city of Sarna, the city of life. The city is large and spacious. this isn't like the city you were just in of Hearthcrest. This city is so wide and spread far that even though it could easily have a population of 200,000 to 300,000 people, it feels like you're in a small village, a hamlet, if you will, where every once in a while, as you're walking along, you might encounter 1 or 2 people. But the city is so far spread that it seems like there is nothing, that nobody lives here. But you can tell from the distant echoing of talking that many, many, many people live here. So, as you're moving throughout the city of Sarna, Ephron is leading you along the way. And as you're walking through, you all are approached by a group of young elvish men and women. As they approach you, one seeming to lead them, a little bit taller and a little bit more lithe and slender than the rest. Long, long, long golden hair that goes about down to the thighs, braided in these very large, loose braids. Incredibly long ears, pointed and far-reaching, more than any elf you'd ever seen before. You can see with the skin, there is this sort of translucent golden glow about it, and these tattoos that mimic vines all around the face and form. As he greets all of you and says,
It is my great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the city of Sarna, city of life, city of joy, city of peace in a disturbing realm. I know this might sound strange, as I can smell the difference on you, but all of you are from the material plane, are you not?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Wonderful. Visitors are always welcome in Sarna. I can promise you nothing bad will happen to you while you are here. I do have an offer, though. I'm sure your friend here,
looking towards Ephron,
your guide, has already told you of such. But it is poor manners to give away your real name in the city of Sarna, of course. But everything has its price, does it not? I present to you all an offer. At any point while you are in the Astral Sea, you may come to me, and you may sell me your name. All names, regardless of stature or position, I treat with equal value. One name will grant you one wish.
So,
Forgive me, but who exactly are you?
You may call me the Fairy King. Of course, as I said, poor manners to give away your name.
Okay, insight check the fuck out of this guy.
yeah, make an insight check.
Knopf does not like his vibe at all.
Minds you too much of himself.
Whoa. Yes. That's a flat 15. Don't have anything to that.
He is a hard cookie to read. You're not
Yeah.
exactly sure.
Yeah, fair.
He's so floaty. And like there are times where you swear that he himself is actually translucent, sort of fading in and out of reality. But you can tell how nonchalant he is. You don't
Yeah.
think he's lying, but like, what the hell? A name for that? That's crazy.
We appreciate the offer greatly, but I don't think that's something we'd be interested in.
I just curious about it though. If somebody did sell you their name, would they forget it themselves, or what would you do with it?
Well, you would not forget your name if you were to sell it to me. I do not change your memory. I do not take anything away from you. In fact, you may still use your name. You may still achieve greatness and be written down in history books with your name. All I want with your name is its worth. That is all.
And I'm just curious, but what is a person's name worth?
A person's name is worth much.
In coin? In magic? In what kind of currency are we talking about?
Is worth very much. It's worth very much worth.
You're not gonna get an answer, Lila.
No, that
That
was the
is
answer.
an answer. Ah, very smart. I can sense something about you, child. A connection to Corellian, is it?
Ah, so you get to know his name. But yes.
Sadly, the gods' names are worth nothing, strangely enough. If you are free to do so in your time in the City of Life, please visit the Temple of Leaves. It's the temple dedicated and maintained by the priests of Corellian. You may find something of worth there for you.
I think I definitely will do that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, as I said, my offer still stands. Should something happen, should you need assistance, you can always come back. And should you wish to find me, you will, in the City of Light, in the city of Zana. Farewell. Unless, of course, there's something someone wish for now that they would be willing to sell me.
I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're fine. We'd need to think on it anyway. If we hadn't, I think we're fine. Thank you.
Of course. Well, farewell to all of you. And may Corellian guide you in your journeys through the Astral Sea. You can see the man who called himself the Fairy King. You can see as he turns and begins to walk away, his form begins to fade, as well as the entourage of astral elves that were at his side.
I like him.
I don't.
Makes you
He
nice.
was interesting.
You. Alright.
I thought fairies were supposed to be small.
I think that's just his name or his nickname.
So is he not the king of the fairies?
Mm.
Maybe that's why he's so big.
Yeah, fairy.
Oh. Well, I like him. I think he's cool.
You have to be careful around people like that. They will.
He's Fae. They're tricksters. I mean, like none of them. It's just kind of their thing. So
They're
we
not-
kind of got
Yeah, they're not evil. They're not evil,
No.
right? Yeah,
chaotic good.
they're just kind of kooky. They're kind of weird,
Yeah.
kind of quirky.
They just want to like fuck with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to avoid giving them our names, though.
Oh yeah, nah. That's a terrible idea.
Down folks to York. Help me out here, right? I'm not
With
crazy,
what?
right? Never mind. Let's just again. You're right. You all way more learned than I am about this stuff. But I'd like to think that I'm a pretty good read of character, and trickster or not, doesn't seem like a good person to me. But who am I? Let's just be mindful.
It's just a different world now, Fionn.
You're right.
Well, traveler, lead the way. Straight up, almost did not say traveler. It was like,
You can see Ephraim. He nods and continues walking. And I feel bad for Nelfin. He's not chaotic
Hi.
enough anymore for this place.
No, this is fun. Nalfin is like, am I the only sane one left?
Lila's vibing.
Yeah, it's just it just gives him the icky, you know, like. I think it's funny that everyone else though is like, yeah, it is, fuck it. It's great.
Okay. Ooh.
You good there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good. I've got my nose itches, like the inside of my nose itches. Whew.
A
That's
little
rough.
tickle?
Got what?
Yes.
All right. So, and my God, I hate my hair right now. Okay, anyway.
Heart.
I know, I actually am, and my chair keeps fucking falling.
Oh
Oh my God. I'm gonna start playing D&D in the fucking Pampasam chair, just like sprawled out. Oh my God. Okay, so you all continue out. Continue throughout, walking throughout, Jesus Christ. Continue walking throughout the city of Sarna. I just kept omitting a word. From my sentence. So you all continue walking throughout the city of Sarna, exploring and looking about, and it's so strange because the city, it seems half abandoned. There's no industry that you can hear. There's no shopkeepers on the side of the road. There is just peace and calm. Every once in a while, you pass a kind group of individuals that smile at you. They welcome you to the city of Sarna. They give you a bundle of flowers or throw petals in your direction to welcome you. You feel calm and relaxed, peaceful and happy. It's nice. Eventually, you come to what looks to be a large, marbled building with these veins of deep green material, almost like jade inside. You can see these trees of stone growing out with leaves of gems that currently clink and crack next to each other like wind chimes. As you can see, Ephron turns to all of you and says,
If it is still the same as it was in my world, the knower should be here. Remember, his name is the knower to all of you. Do not speak his real name.
Now, nods.
you can see Ephron turns and begins to walk up the steps into this marbled building. And as all of you enter, the sounds of the forest do not leave you. But you can also hear them accompanied by the sounds of pages turning, scribbling down on parchment. Every once in a while, a small conversation happening. But as you enter, you see no people in this library you seem to have walked in. The books move and float all on their own. They open, pages turn and flip. They write things down on parchment themselves, and the pieces of parchment fly off up a spiral set of staircase that seems to go up 100 feet. You can see while there is the staircase there are also these platforms that work in a similar way to the ones that you had seen that Ephron used on his ship to go up and down between the frozen ship and his. And he walks over towards them, and as he stands on them, he beckons all of you to stand with him. As all of you do, the platform begins to slowly rise, the magic thrumming underneath it. An elevator, pretty much, that elevates you up and up and up hundreds of feet into the air. Hundreds of feet of books, of unknown information to all of you. Eventually, you arrive at the top. And what you see is very strange. You see a large perch. Behind the perch, this beautiful stained glass window that depicts the Astral Sea and 8 different cities, all floating, and the sunlight and the light coming through the stained glass reflecting on the floor paints this picture that is almost living. It is incredibly beautiful. as you see the individual sitting atop that perch. Not a human, not in the slightest. Instead, you see what looks to be this huge, 30 feet tall, who knows how long the wingspan would be as the wings are currently folded into each other now. An owl with more humanoid characteristics. As you see what looks to be something very similar to this.
Oh, so cool.
You see the creature's head that was currently looking out the stained glass window. Its head turns a full 180 degrees to look towards all of you. And the creature begins to speak. Its beak does not open. Instead, the voice just emanates from that point in an echo. Welcome to my home. I am the knower. You all have traveled far, I can tell. You come to me in search of answers to questions, as all do. What would you have of me? What would you like to know? You can see Ephron, he looks to all of you, and he whispers to all of you.
I will introduce all of us and how I know them. But I think it would be appropriate if all of you describe what you're here for, so they may help you in discovering what you need.
And with that, Ephron turns back around and he begins to speak.
Great knower, I know it may seem strange for me to come to you and say this, but as an individual who knows all things, who has collected knowledge from all of the realms and all of the great 8 cities of the Astral Sea, you know I have no purpose or reason to lie to you, as you know all truth, and I would dare not try and cloud your eyes. So although what I may say sounds strange, please believe that my intentions are pure. I am one of the Archon, an ancient race of creatures that existed in the Astral Sea at its origin. Except I am the last Archon from another timeline. I hope that you, being one who knows all things, understand that the Dark One is a threat. This entity destroyed my timeline, consumed it. I was the only one to escape, to my knowledge at least. In that life, in that timeline, you and I were friends. We shared many days together. I come to you now because I have a group of individuals behind me that would seek to stop this Dark One, and I believe they have the power to do so. But they need your help. Locating something that is dear to them. And I would assist them in this, but as you know, there are many dangers in the Astral Sea. And I would like to help them avoid them.
And you can see with that, Ephron stops as he sort of bows his head. And Manus, the knower, sort of looks the head slowly turning to look at all of you, and then back to Ephron, and looks him up and down, and there is a long moment of thinking, till eventually Manus looks to all of you.
Ephron says that you know of the Dark One, and you fight against him. Is that truth that he speaks?
Yes, that is correct.
And you are willing to do anything, sacrifice anything, if it means stopping the Dark One.
I believe we are, yes.
Then which one of you will you sacrifice to gain the knowledge you seek?
What do you mean?
Who do you sacrifice?
Nalfi looks at Ephron. Ephron, like, it's part of the test?
Ephron is looking at you with a shrug. He doesn't know.
What do you mean by sacrifice?
A price must be paid. You said you would sacrifice anything. Then who will be sacrificed?
Someone has to die in order to gain this information, is what you're saying.
If that is what you think I'm saying.
I am asking you what you are saying.
I have stated very clearly. Who will you sacrifice?
Alfin will just step forward.
Lila will step up with him.
Lila, what are you doing?
Hey, if you're putting yourself out there, so am I.
What are you two doing? This is crazy.
I think there's a bit of problem in understanding, though. I think it's also less that we're willing to sacrifice someone, more so that we are willing to sacrifice ourselves to do this, to put ourselves in the dangers of it.
Very well. What is your mission and what do you seek? Your answer is satisfactory to me.
We need to find this pocket dimension where our friend is located. And we understand that you may have items to help us navigate the Astral Sea. This person has been fighting against the Dark One for probably longer than we can even imagine. So it's probably in our best interest for that cause in order to get him.
A pocket dimension within the Astral Sea. Very interesting.
And it's a pocket dimension where no magic can be done, or exist.
An anti-magic pocket dimension. Even more interesting. I believe I know what you seek. and where you can retrieve it. Be warned, though, the inhabitants of the City of Radiance are not nearly as friendly as those of the City of Life. If my knowledge is correct in this matter, all of you have access to the Orrery of the Wanderer. Is that true?
Correct.
Very good. It is what allowed you to travel here, is it not?
Yes.
Good. Then you have what you need. There is a device within the City of Radiance. It is a weapon used by an entity known as the Radiant Dread. A warlord of sorts who uses this device to suffocate the magic in any radius that he may be. A device that, should you be able to get, will allow you to detect pockets of non-magical power through the Wanderer.
Wait, Joe, okay, question. So you're saying if we go and get this, we don't necessarily need to get whatever we were looking for in the City of Pain?
Well, no, that's the issue is this device will allow you to find it, but the thing that you need in the City of Pain will allow you to use your magic within the anti-magic pocket dimension. So you could get the thing from the City of Radiance and get in, but you'd be doing so without any magical items or spells.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I apologize. And also,
no, it's a good clarifying question.
This thing also help us travel with being able to avoid a lot of the threats and dangers out here? Or they haven't mentioned that part yet?
They have not mentioned that part yet.
Okay. Continue. Sorry.
So, you can see the knower speaks of that and then turns to Ephron and says,
in terms of what you asked, I do believe you that in your life we have met, we have known each other. I can hear it in your voice, and I can see it in the way you look. I am sorry that I am not the knower that you knew, but I will still give you this information that you seek, and where I know they might be. The investiture of Frost you may find in the city of Yule. The threads of sight you will find in the city of corpses. And the psionic compass you will find in the mausoleum of souls.
And you can see Ephron, he nods and says, yeah, I'll get to it in a second.
Great. No, that is very kind of you, but in my dimension, in my time, the cities are not the same. Do you perhaps have a map of some sort that we could have? So we at least know what dangers await us near each city. Of course.
And you can see that over, I would say Lila, since the knower is able to sense your connection with Corellian and the Wanderer, the Orrery of the Wanderer, this large feather, this like 60-foot wingspan, flies over all of you and swipes over Lila's hands as you were holding your hands out. As the wing flies over, there is this translucent piece of magic that now rests in your hands that you can sort of collapse and pull out. Almost like there are these threads that expand from your hands as you sort of clap them together and pull them out that form this picture. It is abstract and artistic. It is not a realistic representation of what is there, but it at least gives you an idea of what cities are near each other and where you may be. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pull all of you to a map of the Astral Sea with the 8 cities. Oh, activate. Oh no, it's not working. That's so sad. I gotta change the lighting. I forgot. There we go.
Ooh.
So, Lila, as you look at the map, you can see all 8 cities. You can see the city of pain, the city of corpses, the city of life, the tundra of apathy, the city of Yule.
I love that one.
The city
That's amazing.
of radiance, the mausoleum of souls, and the crucible of hate. And then there is the dark shadowy place in the center. Yes, fantastic question, Gemma. As you look at it, Lila, and you think of the question as the knower begins to speak.
I know your quest against the Dark One is important. His consumption can already be felt throughout the Astral Sea. The void in the center is the tear he has created. You may fly through it for a faster journey to the Mausoleum of Souls from here. But when you fly in, you may not make it to the other end, as the Dark One's power is strongest near that void. Be very careful when traversing near it. Most stay far, far, far away from it, as no one who has entered has ever exited.
So, you see the 8 cities and the void in the center. You see what the Astral Sea has to offer you. And unless there are no more questions for the knower, Ephron will say his goodbyes, but he looks to all of you first to see if you have any questions about what's what.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good too.
Okay. Kayla, were you going to say something?
No, I just said, yeah, no, I was good too. Sorry. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. Sorry, I'm just typing this stuff up to put in the chat so you have it. Wow. Trash at spelling. That's so funny.
The city of Yule looks like a fun time. Cozy.
Find the pocket
No, you know what? I think the Mausoleum of Souls. The party city.
And we got that, they do got those rave lights.
The fucking Santa coming off the city.
What do you mean? It's cute.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I just am really bad at spelling, that's all. Okay, all right.
Can you actually put it in Isles Private as well?
Yeah, of course.
So it's in 2 places. Thank you.
But of course. Okay, Isles Private.
Where have you put it right now?
I just put it in Isles Private right now, but I'm going to post it in the chat here.
Okay.
Also, bop, 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 bop to the top. So the Investiture of Frost is to keep Mind Flayers away. The Threads of Sight is to keep Astral Dreadnoughts away. And the Psionic Compass is to keep the Gith away. Now, the thing is, Ephron will tell you, the only one you really desperately need is the Threads of Sight. Because if you guys run into an Astral Dreadnought, even as level 11s,
We're in trouble.
there's not much you can do. So that's the only one that you desperately need. You guys are powerful enough to fight Mind Flayers and to fight Gith. It will be a struggle, but you can do it pretty easily. The Arcanum Suppressor is to find the pocket dimension to Emeril, and that was within the Radiant Dread. Or the Radiant Dread keeps hold of that in the City of Radiance, which, now that you're thinking about it, you must have been near the City of Radiance when you first entered, thinking about that white bright light that was behind you. And the icy place that you had gone must have been the Tundra of Apathy, in order to get to the City of Life. So the only things that you really need are the Threads of Sight and the Arcanum Suppressor. You only need those 2 things to find Emeril. It's just getting the rest of the items will make it easier to get it and less of a headache and a struggle. So it just depends how much you want to try, or how much you want to be prepared going into this.
Oh.
All right. So, with that, as all of you look at the items that you need to retrieve, everything that you need to do, is there anything else that you want to ask the knower? I think I already asked that, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did.
All right, nice. Okay, so with that, Ephron will turn to Manus and say once again,
Thank you very much for your assistance. Even though you have not known me in this life, you were always an invaluable friend to me. One that I cherished among, and more than all the rest. I wish you well, and I hope a better fate befalls you than did my friend. Even in this life, you are much too kind for what many people deserve.
you can see Manus nod and look to the rest of you and say,
Farewell. And I hope that your journey to wherever you go, you find safety. Many people are counting on you, even though they may not know it. Be mindful of that. Much rests upon you. But, looking at all of you, I believe you already know that.
and with that, you can see the head return back 180 degrees to face the stained glass window as Ephron will sort of nod and begin to walk back towards the elevator.
Follow.
Yep. Join him.
Alrighty. So with that, all of you,
Read any of the books. There's so many books.
there are so many books.
You didn't ask to read any.
No, because I'm a fucking 64 owl. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I peruse your library?
Seems nice.
So sadly, it's too late, as you already have boarded the elevator and you begin to descend down into the base of the library. You can see the books and papers still floating and flying around as you exit the Knower's domain and head back out into the City of Life. So, as you all are here, is there anything else you wanted to do before you headed back to the ship? Ephron will say, as all of you exit,
Feel free to spend as much time here as you wish, as you all know time is at a standstill. So, take as much time as you'd like. But, in the meantime, I will return to the ship. Make sure that the Tabaxi and the raccoon haven't gotten into too much trouble.
That's a good idea.
Wise.
Yes. I will see you back aboard the Valkyrie. Enjoy, as the City of Life and the City of Yule are really the only two welcoming places, I would assume. See you back at the ship.
Like.
He'll nod and he'll start to walk back towards the ship. But if there's anything else anybody wanted to do in the city of Sarna, you may do so.
This place is cute, so can we just do a bit of sightseeing?
Yeah, Lila was gonna
the prettiness.
go visit the Temple of Leaves that she was told about.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves connect with Corellian. And she would like leaves from the vine. I watched that today.
Oh, God,
but
I'm so sorry.
no, I was okay. I cried. It's all good. But she would like say like, if anyone wants to join me, I know not everyone's a temple person, but I bet it's pretty. Or does anyone want to?
With the quick question, the you know how this place is kind of connected to the Feywild?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a specific rift like there was before, or is it just that the whole place is just kind of a bit fey?
No, there is within the city itself. There is a rift into the Feywild. It's pretty heavily guarded, as there are several rift wardens that exist to protect it. You guys just haven't been close enough to see it yet, but you would be able to sense that'd be there.
Then you would be like, I'll come with you to the temple if we can go by the rift afterwards.
Yeah. Anyone else? Or someone selling a name?
Absolutely not. I think we should all stick together. Personally, this place is great. It's beautiful. Just if there's more people like the Fairy King, I'd rather us all be in one space.
I suppose we're not in a rush, as everyone was saying, so we may as well stay together.
So, lead the way, Lila.
Yeah. Temple. I feel like it's that way.
You have wings. In theory, could you just fly up and then look?
You have wings too. In theory, you could do that as well.
I used mine earlier.
It's fine. And she'll do the
We could
wing
ask
thing.
Tanir to do it. Or whatever
yeah.
Tanir's fake name is.
I forgot that I have him all the time. That's cute. Yes.
So she'll fly up to see.
Yeah, you got it. Tanir's on the ship sleeping.
He needed his rest. It was a big day for him.
It was.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can, as you're getting ready to activate the wings, Lila, Belle kind of leans over to you and it's just like, you're just oozing confidence right now. Like this is awesome for you.
Well, thank you. And she'll like flip her hair and then fly away.
Yeah. And you fly up. And you can see off in the horizon, there is a large building where there are hundreds of trees in varying degrees of fall, autumn, spring, and summer, constantly shifting and changing, leaves growing and then turning red, orange, and brown, and then falling and then growing and being green and then transitioning. This constant shift and change. The leaves are constantly falling down to the temple grounds. You see where it is? Headed off southwest of where you are right now, and you begin walking with the rest of the party.
Ooh.
So, as you walk across several bridges, it does take a while to get there, as there's no direct path. It's just like moving across one of these that feels very rickety, that is like a rope bridge that like is shaped like a U almost, that you have to like walk down and then up, that seems to just be made of vines and plank wood. hanging over a descent into nothingness, which is terrifying. But they seem very sturdy and magically enhanced as well. So while it takes a little bit of a mental fight to get on them and walk across them, they don't seem dangerous at all. So you walk across until eventually you do arrive in a place of falling leaves, crunching beneath your feet as you walk. And you can see, Lila, as you're walking throughout the temple, especially this entryway, you can see that as leaves fall, they fall in specific patterns of different constellations. And whenever they fit directly into the constellation, there's a bright glow from them illuminating the image, and then they break apart. The image fades as the leaves fall to the ground. You can see there's no shrine necessarily. It's just a large open area, and there is a large basin of water in the center. And you can see there are several priests that walk throughout the area. They wear cloaks and robes that seem to be sewn together of leaves, but in these intricate patterns with these glowing runes and lines all along them as they walk about. None of them seem to greet you immediately, caught up in their reading of the stars, but eventually there is one in particular that makes their way over. You can see they are an elf, not an astral elf. You don't notice that sort of translucent starry glow to them, but an elf nonetheless as they approach, and they say,
"Welcome to the Temple of Leaves. Is there anything I may help you with?"
Thank you. We are just stopping in. I know I definitely just wanted to see it for myself. This is my first time ever visiting, and as someone who's very devout to Corellian, I just wanted to be here, feel it, experience it, connect with him, the such.
Wonderful. Well, if you are a devout worshipper of Corellian, please feel free to take some of the water from the basin. It can be a guiding light, a north star, for those that lose their way.
Thank you so much. I think I definitely will. And Belle's a follower, like our whole family is too, right?
Yeah.
So she'll kind of like nudge Belle and be like, maybe some for you, some kind of helpful.
Yeah, definitely. She kind of looks back up at the leaves falling.
But yeah, she'll say thank you to I was gonna say host, but I guess priest, not host. And she'll go over to the water basin.
Yeah. As you look over the edge, you see your own reflection. You can see the leaves falling behind you. And there is just this subtle sparkle, as if there is stardust within the basin itself. You pull out a small glass vial, and very easily you can scoop up just a little bit of water, put it in there, and you can see that as you touch the water, the runes and tattoos on your hands, they begin to glow up to about your elbow. And as you pull your hand out of the water, you can see that as you cap the vial, you can see that as you hold the vial in your hand, the tattoos on the back of your hand are glowing.
I just want to know what this means. Belle, are you going to do some too?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Ting Ting, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, Ting Ting.
I'm getting water from the well of Corellian juice, and she'll kind of scoop it up.
Wow.
Please don't
Corellian
call
juice.
it Corellian.
Don't sound too excited
Don't
now.
like that.
That's bad.
Got it.
Well, should we wait to take it or do it now?
You want to drink it?
I thought that's what, yeah. I was going to drink it.
You can drink yours.
You don't want to drink yours?
Well, when we first walked in, I saw that priest over there stick his hands in and just kind of move it around a bit.
Ew.
And I'm not saying that he's not clean, but I don't know what he did with his hands before that. So
Fair point, Ting Ting. All right, well,
I
guess
mean,
we have
be
this.
my guest.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with a jar of water, dust, stardust, water. So I thought they said it was gonna enlighten you or something, give you guidance. I guess maybe we stare at the jar? Do you feel enlightened? Guided?
I'm feeling certain things, yeah. This current moment.
You're mean, Ting Ting.
I'm not. Okay, well, right now I am a little because of reasons, but that's all right. I'm fine.
Well, I guess if we're not... What are you seeing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Shake it up.
It shakes up the vial. Oh, wait.
Yeah?
No, nothing.
Okay, well.
She'll just kind of tuck it into a pocket in her jacket.
I guess we'll go look at the rift now. Maybe the jars will do something at the rift.
Maybe just keeping them close to you. Something will
Yeah.
happen eventually.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
With Yorick being an observer, is he getting the vibe that maybe Belle doesn't really believe in Corellian like the rest of her family does? Or maybe not as strong as she used to?
Yeah, let me check something real quick. Yorick. With your passive insight of 16, yeah, you could gather that.
Mm. Is it like a... Can I tell if it's more like of a complete lack of faith, like someone just going through the motions, or is it just not as important as it used to be? Like, can I kind of get any sort of a read on that, kind of watching her and vibe check?
Yeah, it definitely seems like she still has, like, an understanding and maybe a little bit of respect, but it's definitely like, like that type of person that like still like will go to church with their parents on like Christmas and Easter just because like that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like there's no real like reverence for it. It's like, yeah, like I believe in God, sure. But there's not a whole lot of faith.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, guys, we got Corellian juice, so I think we can go now.
Please stop
See?
calling it that.
It's starting to catch on.
It's really
It
not.
really shouldn't.
Let's leave.
To the
Well,
rift.
okay.
Let's
All
go.
Okay. So all of you leave the Temple of Leaves behind and feeling pulled to that general direction. You do walk across several other bridges until eventually you do get to the rift that leads into the Feywild. And oh my goodness. This rift is maybe 300 feet tall, 150 feet wide. It is this crackling torrent of green and blue energy swirling around itself, where it has no beginning or end. It just is. And you can see creatures flying in and out, these magical, monstrous fey creatures that fly in and swoop around the city and fly back out. You can see ships traversing in and out every once in a while, heading towards the different docks located all around. You can see so much raw magic existing here, but it is balanced. It is clean. You can also see, just make sure you can also see these individuals wielding these massive staffs with crystals affixed writing, hippogriffs, sort of floating around the rifts. Every once in a while, they thrust a fair bit of magic into it, and you can see areas where the magic was starting to grow unstable and starting to streak. As soon as it's hit with the magic bolt, the area relaxes and calms, and you can probably surmise that these are the Rift Wardens of the area.
Okay, I love my dad, but there were no hippogriffs.
I'm
Yeah,
wait a
this rift
second.
is a lot bigger.
Wait,
too,
your dad
so-
is a rift warden?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
he is. I didn't know that until very, very recently. I just thought he died.
Oh.
But yeah, no, he's a rift warden.
Oh. Well, that's a pleasant surprise, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I have this. She takes out the knife that she has from her dad, the like Rift Warden's gift. She unsheaths it and shows Belle how you can look through the blade, and it creates like this image of the Huntsman's Lodge back near Wheat Hill. It's like, so he gave me this so that I could feel closer to home, and it's kind of the rift back near Wheat Hill.
She kind of like holds the dagger and like looks at the rift there and looks at the massive rift in front of her.
Yeah, it's not as...
I could see how you might be a little... Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, it's like...
What?
Yeah.
No. I get it. I'm not saying this is lame. This is still really cool, but like... And she kind of like gestures towards the other rift. I mean, like, come on. Like,
I know. I know. It's very, very cool.
man, I'm starting to rethink the material plane. I might want to live somewhere else after all's said and done. This place is too cool. And I will say that... oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's really fucking cool.
I will say that as all of you were just sort of looking at the rift, watching the almost rhythmic nature as to where they stabilize the rift, Lila, your sister is standing next to you, and she does kind of squeeze your hand a little bit, just very happily looking into the rift, and sort of looks over towards you and says, "Thank you for letting me come."
I'm happy you're here. Thank you for coming.
I'm happy I'm here too. I never thought I would see anything this cool, and I'm happy I get to see it with you.
She'll like put her arm around her and bring her in closer. Me too. It's been overwhelming since I left the first time, and in a good and bad way. This is the good stuff though, and I'm glad you're seeing it.
I'm glad too.
I don't know, I feel kind of like at home here. Maybe that's the lull that the traveler was talking about, but I'm happily lulled right now.
I'm happily lulled too. I think that, after everything, this might be, I might get a vacation home here,
I think I'll join you.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And with a peaceful sigh, all of you continue to look towards the rift and the majesty of magic that it is, until eventually,
No, just just one quick thing. So when we look into the rift, can we actually like see into the Feywild?
No. This is just
Okay.
a like a purely magical portal. So you can't see the other end. You'd have to actually go through it to see what's on the other end.
Okay, no worries then.
Yeah, it's not like a window. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like there was like the deal with the one that was in Wheat Hill, but I don't know if that's just because it was smaller / other effects or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one was, I don't know, it was a lot smaller.
Yeah, there was a lot less like chaotic magic being poured through that one. Made it a little bit easier to manage. This one, it's kind of got to be real careful with it.
Whilst they are there, Yuri is gonna, because time has no meaning, she's gonna sit with her spear for a little while and just kind of use like fucking chaos of magic and how fucking cool this is to like, I guess, meditate for a little bit with the spear and just kind of vibe.
Okay. Yeah.
Tis all.
Yeah, Eurydice, as you sort of sit there, the spear in front of you, feeling the strong pulls of magic that you have connected to your own lineage through the Feywild, you feel that connection. And you can feel that connection that you have to the spear. And you can feel it amplifying somewhat. And you can feel something within the spear. You can feel something stronger, a stronger connection, perhaps. But you can feel a pull. And you can't necessarily capitalize on it right now. But you know, with time, there may be something else to discover within the spear. You just need to find the right time to capitalize on it. So, as all of you look into the rift, you see what is going on in front of you. Is there anything else anybody wanted to do, either at the rift or in the City of Life, before you head back to the ship and get ready to head to your first location, whatever that may be?
Not for me.
Okay.
You're good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, provided there is nothing else, all of you begin to make your way back towards the Valkyrie, to the rest of your companions, and you get aboard the Valkyrie. As you do, you begin to fly away from the City of Life. You can see the sounds of the City of Life fade before you as you enter back in to the void of space that is the Astral Sea. As all of you exit from the City of Life, you can see Ephron is taking the ship very slowly as you leave, as he looks to all of you and says,
So then, we need to figure out what our next course is. We have many stops, and I leave it up to all of you where you'd like to go first. I will take you wherever you need to go to accomplish what you need to. I will say, as of right now, we are closest to the City of Corpses, and if we head there, we can head straight to the City of Pain afterwards, circumventing the void in the center. But, like I said, I leave it up to all of you. If there's someplace else you'd like to go first, I'll make it happen.
I mean, Lila, if you mind, could we see the map?
Yeah, and she'll bring it out for everyone to look at.
If we want to keep away from this dreadnought, and if that's our biggest threat, we might as well get this device first. And if we're right here, closest thing is the City of Corpses. I think that might be a cautious first stop. What does everyone else think?
No, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I think it'd be best to avoid going to the void in the center as much as we can.
I agree. Alright. Easy. Alright.
Ephron, I think we are going to the City of Corpses.
Very well. Lila, what you're
I
going
got you.
to be looking for is a connection to Celestia, of all places. I know that sounds strange, but that is where the corpses of gods fall from. So that's what we're looking for.
Oh. That's the corpse. Oh, okay. Was that mentioned before, or is that new knowledge that these are corpses of gods, not just corpses? Did I miss
we
that?
knew that there was like god corpses in the Astral Sea. I don't think we got a specific place for where they'd be.
Okay.
So the fact that they're there is unsurprising, but the fact that they're there is like, oh, okay.
That's what we're running into.
yes.
We're going into. Like all gods?
The ones that are dead, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. She's looking for Celestia.
York,
Okay.
you good over there?
Yeah.
Insight check?
It's like, yeah.
What do you mean? It was so convincing.
I love how
That
much
was
that's
so good.
happened this session. Is somebody blatantly lies and they're like, insight check.
Never mind, that was real bad. That's
I was
okay.
18.
Oh, I said no need.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that either.
I
So,
mean,
yeah, what are they?
it's not exciting to any of us, I am sure, but you look particularly concerned.
Just Azrio's there, supposedly.
See. I mean,
Do we not want to go to the city of corpses?
Well, we have to.
Well, technically we don't have to. We don't need the item to keep the mind flares away. I mean, it would make our travel
It's the
more difficult.
dreadnought one.
This one's the dreadnought
The-
one.
the-
Oh,
dreadnoughts in the
shit.
city of
I was looking at the
corpses.
top. I was looking at the top, and I was like, "Oh, we're just going down the list." Okay, Lila, reverse that.
It's okay.
Yeah, we gotta go. So
Toughen up, Yara. Drink
Yeah.
yeah. Great.
gonna need to get over it.
you know what? There are, I'm sure, a lot of dead gods. Kind of looks to the more academic people on the boat. So there's no guarantee that we'll run into them.
If you're worried about being spotted or like, recognized, I could do a spell so that you look different.
Not really what I'm worried about, but thanks.
Yeah, I don't think Azrio is gonna have a problem with Yorick. Think
I know.
something else.
Although, I guess if we're talking about concerns, though, if this is going to be a place of a bunch of dead gods, another thing in the library, it talked about some people try to harvest from the remains there. I suppose it makes sense that a body of a god would be powerful, but I think if we're talking about concerns now, I would be worried if there were people there that are a bit more malicious. Especially if Ephraim mentioned that there's going to be, well, pirates here too. It makes sense that they'd be around something that's a place of valuable resources.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I
a good
think-
thing.
I think at this point. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just on the we're on the same.
Oh, you go.
Ah. No, it's okay.
Ladies
She just
first,
said
no.
that's a good point.
And Nalfian agrees.
Okay. Well, if we gotta go, we gotta go. We know what things to look out for. Yeah. Unless we want to do this last, we could go the other direction to the city of Yule.
Oh.
Well, that means we
I
have to.
feel like this is something we'd want first, knowing what it will get us.
We'd have to travel the whole time without the thing that's keeping away one of the most dangerous things in the sea. So
Yeah. I'm just presenting other options.
It's going to be dangerous no matter which way we go, and the sooner we can negate that danger, the better. We just have to make sure we are, as always, watchful of what is to come, but also watchful of ourselves. And Nalfian just kind of like gives York a little small look. But I think we are all strong enough here to manage that.
Yeah.
Great. On our way, course set. I'm seeing Celestia vibes. We're going that direction.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, you tune the Wanderer to focus in on the threads that tie it to Celestia. You find your course, and you begin heading in that direction. Now, as you begin flying in that direction, the frost has melted away from the 3 members of the Hidden Flame that you had found. They're still not at a readiness to speak, as they're still recovering. They still do need a little bit more rest. Probably after you get done with what you need to in the City of Corpses, they'll be ready to talk. But you do have a better idea of what they look like. So I'm going to share my first group journal, which is kind of interesting. This is a new feature they added to Foundry, where it has all 3 individuals' images and the symbol of the Hidden Flame located in it, which is different than the symbol of the Children of the Flame. So, but it's pretty similar. Okay, show to players. So, we should have the 3 individuals. I would say they probably shared their names with you, just that way you could have them. Which we have the symbol. We have Rice, which is the man who is the spellcaster, the sorcerer. Then we have Kaylin, which was the woman with auburn hair and seemingly bow and arrow at her side. And then we have Kaylin, and then we have Phelan, which is seemingly a contrast from Kaylin having sort of blue and teal hair with same long pointed ears and these tattoos that look more like astral star patterns, very similar to Lila, but Phelan was the one with the 2 mechanical metal arms, as opposed to flesh and bone. So the most they've been able to muster is their names and thank you. All right. The most they've been able to muster is their names and thanking you for saving them. So, with that, I'll go ahead and transition back to RP as all of you begin to sail towards the City of Corpses. You can tell that the City of Corpses is a more desolate area of space. Frankly, most people try to avoid it. Most normal people do. But those people who know the worth that sinew and blood from these corpses can get them, they are here. Luckily, your ship is small. It looks to have nothing valuable on it as of right now. You've not made enough of a name of yourself for anyone to be looking for you. So your journey to the City of Corpses is rather uneventful. However, you can see the sea shift and change. Where it was bright blues and purples and greens, it shifts to dull greens and dull purples. The saturation, honestly, is the best way to describe it, is just ripped away. Where you just feel this heaviness fall over you. As it is hours of sailing until eventually you see the first corpse. A titan is the best way to think about it. You can see a body from head to waist that is probably 2, maybe 3,000 feet in length, maybe even longer, floating. You can see buildings chained to the skull or to the stomach currently floating above it. You can see entire cityscapes built atop this one corpse, and you can see this city goes on as far as you can tell. With multiple corpses, multiple bodies of gods that sprawl out over the entirety of this area. As I welcome you, make sure this is right, to the City of Corpses.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Fucking sick.
So, as you look out on what is in front of you, you can see that Ephron is also a fair bit surprised at the sight in front of him. as all of you look down at the many corpses that are sprawled before you, you know that what you need to find here is something known as the Threads of Sight. And as of right now, you don't necessarily know where you can find it. But hopefully, you will be able to. And that is where we're going to go ahead and pick up next week, because that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Welcome
Jesus.
to the City of Corpses. See, the thing is at least as of right now, I'm pretty sure that each place is only going to take a session to get through. So I know it seems like you guys have a lot of stuff to gather, but
Yeah,
I
it's
want you to
fun.
be able to sightsee. I want you to be Yeah, I want you to be able to see some of the places. And if you do get tired of it, you can just get the important items and then go. So there's an out. There's an out. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed. This has been a wonderful session, DM, a lot of fun. That is where we're going to go ahead and call it. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's session. I know I did. Be sure to tune in on Tuesday for the continuation of the Salamander Coast. Be sure to tune in on next Saturday for the continuation of Isles, and be sure to tune in on a very special date, the 14th of December. Starting on the 14th, the Tales of Everend will begin to be streamed right here on Twitch, as we're finally caught up to the episodes that we had in the backlog. So we're going to start streaming Tales of Everend as well as posting it on Thursdays on YouTube. So that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight. So be sure to keep an eye on those things. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Ba-da-da-da.